What's going on, everybody? John on here with you. It's a Sunday, March 31st, 2024. I'm ending a little bit, but I am here. I got Alec and I here with me. I don't know if he's going to be joining in for this entire game, but we're going to bring him in nonetheless. It is Michigan and Michigan State. This is for the sixth time this season. Kind of unprecedented at that part, but let's give you to the starting lineups. So, head coach by Brandon Naurato are the Michigan Wolverines, and to give you their record as well. 22, 14, and 3. Their line sounds like this, and I'm going to use it from yesterday. Rutger, McGroarty, Gavin, Brindley, Garrett, Schifsky, Marcus Stoppa, Frank Nazar, Josh Renesi, Dylan Duke, TJ Hughes, Nick Moldenhauer, Chase Plesky, Keenan Draper, and Philip LaPointe. On defense will be Jacob Truscott and Seamus Casey, Ethan Edwards, Marshall Warren, Tyler Duke, Luca Fantilli. Should have Jake Barcheski in goal. And for the Michigan State Spartans, it sounds like this. Head coached by Adam Nightingale, 25-9-3. They're 16-6-2. They won the Big Ten. Their lineup sounds like this: Isaac Howard, Carson Dort, Daniel Russell, Reed Lebster, Nick Moeller, Jeremy Davidson, Gavin O'Connell, Red Savage, Joey Larson, Tommy Manisto, Tiernan Shouty, Tanner Kelly, Nash Nihus, and Artem Levshinov will be on defense with Patrick Geary, Matt Baskell, David Gucciardi, and Maxim Strabek. Austin Overitz will be the extra defense, and it should be Trey Augustine in net. Alec, first of all, how are you doing, my friend? It's certainly been a while. I know we covered the duel on the D between these two teams, but this is a good time for Michigan to get a win because this is do or die right now.
How are you doing as well? This is some amazing hockey here. The Frozen Four. We're getting possibly a fourth overtime game in the meantime between BC and Quinnipiac, with BC tying it up 4-all. Michigan, I covered their win over North Dakota previously in the first round. Now it's the second round. By the way, it's the sixth time they're meeting all season long. This is unprecedented between the Wolverines and the Spartans. The Spartans winning 4 unanswered after Michigan took the first one, including the Big Ten Championship, 5-4 in OT. But this is an even bigger one, considering that this is for all the marbles.
Yes, it is. And again, as you said, unprecedented, as we talked about, Michigan State, you have a good rivalry there. And sometimes that breeds contempt. I think when you saw the Michigan State Spartans, as they should, hold that 4 sign and have that Big Ten trophy in the air, I mean, this is a huge game. And Jake Barcheski's good. And so is Trey Augustine. So again, Alec, we have that battle and goal that we'd be looking forward to.
Yeah, we do. Especially Augustine, the Red Wings prospect, perhaps cementing himself maybe for a case of being the 1A over Sebastian Coast in the future.
That could definitely be a possibility. So we're underway. Again, I got this on the ESPN Plus side. This has immediately been iced because of the BC Quinnipiac game that is going into OT. So we will also keep that track for you as well.
They're also looking back and forth between this and March Madness. Currently, Duke has a 35-34 lead over Cinderella NC State on the basketball side. This rivalry never gets old over the triangle.
No, it does not. And now Michigan in their defensive end trying to get this one out as Truscott. I'm trying to go ahead and push ahead near the right side boards. It'll be a slapper here for State. This will go wide near the left side red line and recollected off the backhand. Pull back up by roster portions as this is sent back around. Michigan with a flood puck. Just get away from Levshinov. And now will be a race as a glove hand gets taken out of the way. And Trey Augustine will just handcuff this thing to the right side boards. I know Alec can speak to this in the last game that he covered. In between these two teams, it was pretty physical. Again, in the last game between Michigan, here is a turnover off the backhand. And TJ trying to get this one to the right side, Dot working behind the net. Here's a chance that goes off of the glove of Augustine. And now we get some pushing and shoving, and we get some punches here.
Was that TJ Hughes? Because I think that was Hughes getting that beat from Ethan Edwards, 73. I mean, Schifsky was setting things up at the front. You take away the vision from Augustine. Not a bad shot from Hughes going far side on Augustine, but Schifsky, I believe they started out with Schifsky one-on-one with Levshinov, and that was what sparked it.
It's pretty good there because if you look at Schifsky and Levshinov, again, Levshinov led Michigan State as far as points. Again, he was 35 points in about 37, 38 games, 20 plus 28, which was best on the team. Face-off win, be shot from the high side blue line, and this one will get blocked. Go all the way back down. Michigan gets an opportunity to go ahead and play it. As it bounces off Barczewski, they'll be taking this one left to right again. Michigan in the maize and blue. This is the Maryland Heights Regional Final in St. Louis. Frank Nazar with the pass across doesn't find anybody but his defense. We'll have to start again. Seamus Casey is part of the first team All Big Ten. That on the ESPN tracker. As Moldenhauer tried to get this one across, it bounces out in front. Nazar a couple times. Try to pick this one off the backhand. Give us to his defense. It bounces out in front. A gigantic rebound. This is sent into the circles. And this will go all the way back down here. For Michigan State, Nightingale squad will take a change. As this will get settled back down here for U of M. Again, this is the regional final between Michigan and Michigan State. Again, an unprecedented 6 meeting, as Alec mentioned. So, good reverse hit near the blow line side as Michigan State gets an opportunity to pick this one back up. Take a long pass from 100 feet down across the red line. And this will be slowed down by Barczewski, but turned over. This will be battled in around the boards. I'm going to go ahead and start again with Stephen Holtz. So they are carrying the extra defense, and he's playing today. As this is now backhanded across the left side red line. Michigan State will get it near the right side wall. Finish a couple checks here. Still trying to keep it alive off the forehand, off an outstretched stick. It bounces, and this one will go just wide as Holtz get an opportunity to pick it back up. Will take a long float. This one goes in across the red line and settled down by the green and white. Hughes sends this one across, and he'll get it right back from his defensive partner, Levshunov. That's a very good pair. Shouty gets his shot blocked. Michigan trying to push it the other way. It's a 2-on-3. Got Edwards with him. He gets taken down with the stick as this is spun around the kick plate. And now Warren will settle it back down for U of M. Got 16:55 left to go in this first. It's scoreless between Michigan and Michigan State. It's near the right side wall. Now left side red line. This goes up the outside cage. It goes out of play. And we get a stoppage.
It does, Bar. We're officially getting our 4th overtime game of the tournament. We had just 62 seconds of overtime all of last year between Michigan, Penn State, Quinnipiac, and Minnesota. The first game lasted more than that. Went to the second overtime. Denver beating UMass after a scare by UMass. It went to double overtime. Good goal after video review. Denver at the Frozen Four facing up against BU. Winner here between BC and Quinnipiac facing up against the winner here.
Thank you for that, Alec. And again, if we're still in a situation where that's going on, when we get into intermission, we can definitely flip over and give you the updates. Again, Quinnipiac won the national title last year, and now they're able to get to overtime against BC, who I might think might be the best college hockey team in the land. But we'll see what ends up happening as this goes all the way back down. Michigan State will get a chance to settle this back. Here's a good outstretched pass, and the shot goes wide near the right side boards. As up the skate all the way back in their own end as Michigan State. Here's a chance as this will bounce off the left pad of Barczewski. And Michigan now will collect it in their own end. About 16 minutes left to go in the first. John on here with you alongside Alec Nava. It's good to work together. It's definitely been a while. There's a couple changes for both of these squads. Recollect and Shouty. Can't get to it. Barczewski just falls on it. And we get some more shoving here with Edwards as the camera's going to cut. So these two teams in their 6th meeting, they're going to keep it spicy.
Yeah, we know that they don't like each other. We would expect more physicality. There's Brandon Naurato. We pointed out several times about him being a Luka Doncic twin, maybe. We pointed out several times. Hard to point things out.
His first season as head coach, again for Nightingale, you would think on Michigan State's side, he would get maybe Coach of the Year honors. Definitely all Big Ten. This is the best that the Spartans have ever been in the hockey program history, and you know that they really want this one again. And again, for me, it's one of the situations where these rivals get a chance to watch them play multiple times. What more could you want? As this is spun around the end boards now, and this will be flipped. But this is too far for Schifsky, and now Michigan State will keep it in. Good sequence of passing, but Michigan gets a stick in the lane and breaks it up. Nazar goes for a seam pass right down the middle for Rutger McGroarty. And this one will go just wide. His stick will turn around. This is held up across the blue line. Ref's got to get out of the way as well. I think we're going to get an offsides here.
You know what's strange about Quinnipiac right now? That they're going to be playing in their 3rd straight Frozen Four tournament overtime game.
That kind of tells you in between Ram Pecknold, I know we've seen it over the last couple of years, that his teams are prepared for anything because you got to imagine, Alec, there's a lot of nerves, but maybe not so much for Quinnipiac as many would expect.
Yeah, they're calm, cool, and collected, even into overtime games.
Is Gavin Brindley getting a penalty here?
He is. 2 minutes. That is.
I think he's going to get a hook in near the left side board. So Michigan State going to go on the power play. And he mentioned a couple times, especially coming from the duel and the D, that this is a team by committee that gets points. Nobody really stands out for Michigan State, but the fact that everybody can hurt you definitely makes them a lethal team. As we get a little bit of an overhead camera, just trying to pass this puck around the blue line. That's what we're seeing right now. Here's a slap shot. This is a traffic out in front of the net. Schifsky will watch this one go wide near the left side, and I hope that they'll change this camera soon as this goes for another chance. And near the left side red line, back in behind the net, Michigan will finally get a chance to recollect here with Edwards. As a look to break out on his own end, good chip off the glasses. Somebody lost the shaft of the stick and then completely broken it, so it's abandoned. Right in the middle of Michigan State circles, there is a little bit of a curling move as getting away from the broken stick, and now Michigan State able to get Strawback. I'll go all the way around the horn here. As this will try to be collected by Nihos, but this will go all the way back across the red line. So Michigan State's power play 26%, second in the Big Ten. Michigan's penalty kill 78%, fifth in the Big Ten. So they certainly want to get those numbers a little bit better. As this is a good reverse of a hit. They got away from it here. Russell now near the right side goes back to D. Here's an opportunity for Baskell. We'll go ahead and shoot it. Here's a rebound. This one is into the webbing of the catching glove, I believe, and this will be saved. But that was a good setup there for State near the right side red line.
Yeah, right side, right along through the goal line, and tight shots. Not common that you see any of those tight shots here in the Frozen Four or any in college hockey, even in any level of hockey, but no shot, that's a bad shot in that situation.
No, it's not. And again, we're looking at Chris Draper. They showed him on the camera shot, longtime Red Wing, and he was picked up pretty much for $1. That was the waiver claim from the Winnipeg Jets. That's what you had to pay at the time. It ended up working out pretty good for the Selke winner, multiple-time Stanley Cup champion. State holds it in off the face-off. Good shot block. As this bounces off of Moldenhauer, picked up now for State again. As the hit gets reversed, it bleeds in, and Michigan State scores.
Good start for the Spartans. Get that early power play, and you get everything to your momentum. O'Connell, 29, get the first goal of this game. Gavin O'Connell, the freshman from Wayzata, Minnesota, but we're getting a video review, it seems. No, they're confirming it, that it is a goal. As Baskell just thinks of a deep shot, right point. Schifsky didn't handle it. O'Connell sees this right to him, and he banks it in on the backhand. No mistake made by O'Connell.
Excellent work, as you said, Alec, perfectly rebound out in front. And O'Connell had to fight through the trees, but he got the first post position there, able to get the rebound. It's his 15th goal of the season. They get a 26-point at plus 11 now. Baskell lets it go on the right side blue line, a little bit of a knuckle puck, but again, O'Connell's right there. Truscott not able to clean him out, so that should be his goal. And good positioning there creates a goal for the Spartans.
We're seeing the referees coming in to review this goal. I'm not sure what it was that they're probably to review it. I don't see offside. Was it a high stick?
I would say I don't see offsides either, and I'm looking on this second replay to see if there was a high stick, and that looks to be near the bar to me. That's awfully close. I think this should be a good goal.
I mean, it looks close. You're looking at it to see if it is at or above the shoulder, or if the stick is at or above the bar. I think it's at or above the bar where you cannot have it go to goal. The stick is below the bar. This should stand.
I think so too. And again, that Gavin Brindley penalty is close. That really zoomed in, kind of looks like a 480p image. So hopefully they can kind of fix that one out. But if this is an official review on the ref side, no penalties will be called. But if Naurato has this one and it's overturned, then that would be. But I think this is from the refs. And the image that we're looking at, I'm just telling you honestly, you're fortunate that you don't have to see it because it's very blurry.
Oh man, it sure is blurry. Sometimes you gotta think about 4K cameras or 8K cameras for that regard, because think about the future. Think about what it can do down the stretch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, in a goal like this, I'm not seeing much, Alec, to overturn this. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to wear maize and blue glasses, but that looks like a clean goal for the Spartans.
It does.
So they said the power play has normally struggled a little bit recently here for the Spartans, but again, that was a good design. They got traffic out in front, and O'Connell wasn't able to be cleaned up. It probably bled through Schifsky a little bit as well. You'd like to clean that up in the future, but they're taking a lot of camera looks at this, but we'll be honest and tell you it's not really going to change what we're thinking because, again, the imagery is not clear at all.
It doesn't look like it because no matter where we go with this imagery, it just feels like no matter where it is, there's going to be some sort of blur on it. We're still reviewing it. The officials on my end, they're coming out the glass. They're saying they are upholding the goal. It is 1-0 Spartans.
As you should. So Alec Vision's probably about 5-6 seconds ahead of me, which is good. So be able to give you some of those calls. Again, just happy to have him with me here in between Michigan State. And I won't say too much on my mind right now because there's a lot of time left, but you have to wonder if Michigan State goes up by a pair, maybe even 3, that you kind of think for the Wolverines, here we go again. I know some of these games have been close, but you just don't want to let it get away from you. The next time Schifsky has traffic out in front, you hope that there's not a Spartans player there. Maybe you can get a little bit more clean rebound control. But we're underway now. As this is Rutger McGroarty, he gets taken down pretty good across the red line. And this will be flipped in. As this will be hitting across the left side boards. Shouty back out there on the 4th line. And that's exactly what Nightingale wants to go with after scoring a goal. You want to get some grit and sandpaper. Again, we get another whistle and another gigantic hit as Warren's going to go after a couple of the Spartans. Truscott got leveled.
Yeah, Tanner Kelly, 26, I believe he was in the direction of Warren, 77 of Michigan. For some more pushing and shoving, we know that these two, they don't like each other. This is not surprising that this happened.
No, we're going to see some heavy hits. Again, Alec, in the last game that you covered between New Michigan and North Dakota, I was fortunate enough to watch a little bit of that third. But that kind of seemed like Michigan was dead in the water until that third period hit. They turned it all around.
And it seemed like it when they scored those 3 unanswered goals to go up 4-2. And even though North Dakota, they were getting one last push, what ultimately threw North Dakota was that broken stick at the end, followed by the puck getting cleared out at the last minute.
So if you had to say right now, in between Quinnipiac and BC or Michigan State, I know there's tons of time in our game right now, but who do you like to advance?
I would say Boston College would advance here because they're the best team in the nation at this point in time where they are at.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel Quinnipiac has frustrated them throughout the game. I also like Quinnipiac Chess. I'm not going to count them out, but I think Boston College would eventually showcase their talent, their skill. I would say if it's Boston College winning, give me Cutter Gauthier for the win. If it's Quinnipiac, I'll take Colin Graff.
I like that on that side. I think that's where I'm going to lean with you as well. I will go with BC. I do respect Quinnipiac. I know it's the national championships and all that, but I can't forget what I seen in the WJCs in between Will Smith, Gabe Perreault, and Ryan Leonard. And that's just one of the best lines in all of college hockey. I'll just say it.
It is one of the more talented, not to mention about Smith, Leonard, Gauthier, and Gabe Perreault, the American quartet with BC, as I would want to call them.
How do you think about BC's goaltending? I'm not too familiar with that.
Jacob Bauer has been nice for them and serviceable. While he doesn't have to do too much because of the offensive talent of them, he's still a good goaltender in his own right.
I appreciate the insight because I figured with all the offensive firepower, it would kind of just be that way. Just be able to have the status quo, get everything all figured out, and you'll be okay. I think that's where BC will be. But we'll see what Quinnipiac will do. We'll check in on them at the end of this first. We still got 12:40 thereabouts left to go. Michigan State has just taken the lead as this is now with Michigan. We'll get this in across the red line. Schifsky's pass. It was a little wanting, but he's going to finish a big hit near the right side board. So we knew this game was going to be physical, but it's definitely started out that way. Garrett able to get his pass across. And now Michigan with Nazar try to force the steal, but a good pin as Nazar gets dumped. And now another finished hit as Nazar gets taken out on the right side wall as Michigan have to try to recollect on their own end. Webster, that looked like a cross check from Fantilli. We'll see what they call. They get a whistle.
Oh, we're not seeing anyone go to the box just yet.
Offsides.
Well, they're going to say offside. But just as of right now, as we're getting a live look in from the March Madness game, NC State is up by 8 on Duke. How about the Cinderella team?
What a run. And it pains me to say, as an Oakland alum on that side from Rochester Hills, Michigan, they forced them into OT, but then all of a sudden, NC State, the men and women, they look really, really good. It is a Cinderella run, as we're still underway in our game here between Michigan State. 11:50 left to go. We'll have to check back in that box score as well, because I imagine Burns and the pain is doing a ton of damage. As this is a bad steal. Michigan's got it now. Extra pass. Backhand. This one is stopped, and we get some more contact, but that was a dangerous turnover from the Spartans.
Yeah, bad pass from Levchinov. You don't see that often from him considering the season that he's been having. There's the old tic-tac-toe between Nazar and 22, I think, Philippe Lapointe. There was that Edwards with the first pass going right back for Edwards. It wasn't Lapointe. It was Edwards who went down right behind the goal line after shooting that off on the 2-on-1 after the giveaway by Levchinov.
I will say, Nihus, it kind of cut down the captaincy for the Spartans, a shooting lane for Nazar, so it forced him to pass. So that was a good cutoff there for a dangerous opportunity for Michigan that went for naught. 11:25 left to go in this first as Michigan got close, and now the Spartans with the green and white try to escape from their own end. They're already up by a goal. Here's an opportunity for a wrister. Good save by Schifsky as it's now near the left side red line. Here's a centering feed turned over. It'll be an opportunity for Carson Dorick, and this one will get blocked. Michigan able to escape it. Gavin Brindley. Now we'll get to the right side of the dot off the half spin. Brindley trying to keep it alive. Truscott shovel this one near the left side dot as Michigan still trying to work in behind the cage. And Philip Lapointe is sandwiched by a host of Spartans. Kind of looks like an ice cream there as this is sent around the end boards. Michigan still find a force way to get a steal as this goes wide of Augustine. Pleshke trying to pick this one up now. We'll turn it around. Michigan still working in behind. Here's a slap shot in tight. It goes loose off the backboards. And now as Augustine holds, we're going to get a lot of pushing and shoving. This time Draper involved. And now the refs, I think at some point, Alec, if this continues, they're going to have to start calling penalties.
At some point, yeah, you'd think, because this is not stopping anytime soon. Caden Draper, he won a piece of what I believe was Maxim Sturbach, the freshman from the Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia, wherever he's at. Well, Slovakia, I meant, as I look back in the rosters. Well, Sturbach, yeah, he and Draper one-on-one, and Daddy's proud.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. You have some of that same physicality we talked about. And Sturbach is another one of those, as Alec mentioned, the freshman. It's a pretty good host of defense. I understand you got the names there, like Jacob Trescott and some other pieces for Michigan. But still, when you think about Seamus Casey and Jacob Trescott, you got those top two, but the rest of them are probably all advantage for the Spartans across the board. Artem Levchinov is one of the best in college hockey, as this is a face-off win here for the Spartans. And this will be a 4-on-4 offsetting. So the penalties that we were just talking about, those ones finally get called, and it's offsetting here. It's a hand grenade of a pass. And now Michigan State with Webster able to get this one right across the neutral zone. It's turned over, and Michigan now will get some puck possession with Edwards. Number 73 gets his stick held. He's into the right side of the wall, and Spartans able to escape with it. Webster going to kill some more time here as this is put around the inboards, and they go right to left for the Wolverines. Full speed off a 1-on-4, and then a reverse off an elbow as knocks down one of the Michigan players who's hurt, and we get another whistle. It is an elbow, and Michigan's going to get a 4-on-3 power play here.
Yeah, Nienhuis can't do that. That was clear elbowing right onto the Michigan player that got hit very hard on that contact. That's an absolute no-no. You put yourselves in absolute danger zone when you can't catch Marshall Ward up high into the elbow. Yeah, he is in pain.
Man, Marshall Warren, though, he was going end to end there, Alec. And even though he's in pain, he's going to take the extra two for his team because he just skated through the Spartans on a 1-on-4.
Wow. I mean, with that speed and that tenacity, you imagine that they're going to convert. Well, if Nyhouse sees it, but that's the wrong way to defend. In fact, that's not a defensive play.
No, you're definitely right about that. And again, for Quinnipiac and BC, it looks like they're underway in OT. Again, my scoreboard reads 17:55. I know it's just the ESPN box on the computer, but we'll definitely keep you updated.
Yes, we're recapping that game. It is 4-4. The first blood drawn by Boston College from Jack Malone. Then Jacob Quillen, who scored the championship winner in overtime last year, he tied it up. That's his first of two. And Ivari Rossinen just 35 seconds after the Quillen goal to get them up to, I believe it's 2-0, but because the Malone goal did not count. Ryan Leonard, Andre Gassot, 2 goals in quick succession, though it was over 9 minutes apart from those goals between Leonard and Gassot. Christophe Filion, up 3-2 for Quinnipiac at 15:59 of the second, but not before Leonard evened it up with his second goal. And remember Quillen? He has had another one 16 seconds into the third. And then it's Aaron Menashian with 4 minutes and 44 seconds to spare in the third. And we're now at this point OT. BC has the puck now.
I want to say this for Quinnipiac, and I mean this in the best way. You got to love the fact. Got a goal? Let me know who it was.
What you're hearing in the background is my dad in absolute excitement of the Boston College victory. What a goal! And Quinnipiac's title defense comes to an end on an OT winner.
So we will give you the update on the GWG here. McGroarty's pass. This one will get flipped down. I was going to say for Quinnipiac, he had so many pretty much fifth-year seniors on there that BC, as we talk about that top line, they can be very dangerous. Again, Alec, just give us the recap. We'll give you the OT one in a minute. As Hughes, near the right side, shot goes up high, and Michigan not able to keep this one in. It bounced off Augustine. This glove goes all the way out. Brindley now. Opportunity for Truscott. Near the right side, this will be Truscott. Get it off the crisscross. Drop for Brindley in the high slot. This goes around the inboards. As this will be a backhand pass from McGroarty. He was waiting in the Kucherov spot. There will be a race. Michigan State forced to steal for a wide angle chance, and Barczewski has it in lock between his left arm. I'll drop it as this is Hughes. Now near the right side wall. Hughes able to keep it alive. Good pass across. And this shot will get saved, maybe partially blocked as well. As Michigan, now McGroarty loses the puck. This one goes all the way down. The 4-on-3 is done. But the power play now will extend for 40 seconds here. They're for Michigan as they're down a goal. Brindley takes his change as the defense tries to get set. Schifsky overskates it. And now Michigan try to force the steal. They will get with the outstretched stick. And Frank Nazar. Nazar walks in, tries to snipe near the left side, stopped by Augustine. As Edwards is waiting. There's a lob pass. This goes to number 73. Edwards dancing with the puck. He's waiting for a lane to open. Moldenhauer sends it across for a 1-T. This one stopped by Augustine as well. So Michigan's power play starting to find some lanes to shoot. Now 4 seconds. Good keep in by Nazar. Nazar now. Pass across the left side. Done. It's a tight Augustine. Series of saves. He's down. And now we're going to get some pushing and shoving from Mastapa and Levshinov. But Augustine, he played some heroics there.
Yeah, he sure did. The Red Wings future showing its brightness with Augustine leading the way. But that nice one-timer might have been off the post. Augustine may have gotten a piece. You weren't coast to coast to stop it. That was all Augustine. All puck on the coast-to-coast save. But he followed it up with shutting down perhaps his best sequence on shutting down a litany of shots on the 5-on-4 power play. Just after it was over, Schifsky was there, and there were a bunch of hungry sharks like Schifsky and Moldenhauer ready to strike.
That was a really good keep in there by Frank Nazar on the left side blue line to force about 3 saves, as Alec mentioned. I'm still waiting for this box score to reset. We know that BC's got the victory. Just want to see who got the GWG, but they're making us wait on the computer side as Michigan kind of shrugging their heads a little bit because they knew it was close, but you got to keep just poking away at Augustine and force them to stop pucks. And hopefully we also get a shot counter here pretty soon, as this is recollected here from Michigan. From the defensive end, Truscott able to send this all the way around towards LaPointe. Philip LaPointe now, as this will be knocked away. Edwards trying to join in as well, as Edwards will just be like a rambling bowling ball. This is now for State. An opportunity for Miller, as this is recollected off the shot. This goes up and on a play. 7:04 left to go in the first.
Yeah, we now have the update on who scored the overtime winner. Jack Malone gets his second of the game. The man who he has his game winner. The man who thought he had the first goal of this game, he had it waved off, and now he gets his revenge with the OT winner, 3:06 into the extra session.
I will say this, now that Boston College has ended up getting the GWG, I still feel like Michigan State would be a better matchup for them than Michigan. I know that's more offense on offense. That's just me because I've seen Michigan State play so well throughout this series, especially against Michigan. But I've been saying they've been a complete team. I like the way that they play. I know Michigan's a little bit top heavy, but man, if you're going to try to beat BC here, Alec, you really have to have all of your lines firing at the same time, and you have to have great goaltending.
Yeah, both sides are going to factor in. I mean, you guys are scoring all around, so you made a valid point on Michigan perhaps being a better matchup for Boston, perhaps being something for Boston College that they do not want to face, because Michigan State, even though it's scoring by committee, the big is great goaltending can factor in. Jake Schifsky, he's been standing on his head on most nights, despite his record or save percentage, but don't be fooled by save percentage. At some points, you see goaltenders standing on their heads. That's what Schifsky is doing for Michigan against Michigan State.
So Adam Nightingale, again, you pretty much just throw a parade for him right now. 23-24 Big Ten Coach of the Year. That's just the way I see it, the way that he's got this program completely turned around. Again, Michigan State's never been a doormat, but they've never been in this position here, Alec, and it's really good to see, honestly, for the Spartans.
It is indeed. If you're from Michigan State and watching this hockey team, you're probably having a time of your life.
Yeah.
Especially Tom Giza, who watched Michigan State get the OT winner against Western Michigan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, I felt bad for the Broncos a little bit on that side because there was so many Michigan teams. You had Michigan Tech, Western Michigan, and the Michigan State. There was a lot going on. Minnesota's the hockey hotbed, but Michigan's done a pretty good job as well. I couldn't believe Minnesota had already bowed out as well. It's definitely surprised me. As Rutger McGroarty will go ahead and get this one as Gavin Brindley send this one across. He's off the rush now. Holtz will have to turn around. Brindley will fire it around the end boards. There are about 6 minutes left as it's Nazar. Here's a good save for Augustine and a late cross check at the end of it as well. So the refs are going to be busy the whole way through, but both goaltenders, as you just mentioned, Alec, besides the one that bled through Barchesky, they've been good so far in this first.
And so far, so good between Michigan and Michigan State. 8 shots to 9, Michigan and Michigan State. They both had 2 power plays each, though Michigan State is 1 for 2 with Gavin O'Connell scoring the lone goal on the power play. And in the meantime, NC State could join Loyola Chicago as the 11th seed to advance all the way to the Final Four.
That is absolutely unbelievable. We'll give you a goal scoring update for that as well, or a scoring update, I should say. As this is center on Tyler Duke. This one almost goes near the post. He gets this one picked back up. Trying to find Rutger McGroarty after the pinball it off the wall. McGroarty turnaround shot. This is going to work as puck possession for Holtz. Nazar. Now Rutger sends this one across. A little bit too many extra passes. Finds Brindley nonetheless. I thought McGroarty would try to help him out, but Brindley somehow finds it, and this one goes up and on a play.
It's no secret that Michigan is a top-heavy team that relies on their big name players. This time it's McGroarty and Brindley. But so, as we see these two, this could be a special connection on this first line for Michigan if they're going to stay next year. If they're not going to The Queers are going to go to their NHL clubs. McGroarty with Winnipeg, Brindley rejoining Fantilli with Columbus.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I say this as a Michigan fan, a member of everything across the state, I hope that they do better sometime soon because they have too much young talent to not have that turnaround. And the replay that we just got off Augustin, so that the knuckle puck actually bounced off the post in the previous replay. As this, the Spartans settle this back down to Captain C and Niehaus. He's back out there off of a half spin. Michigan trying to keep this alive off the wall, and it's Michael Stoppa. This pass will bounce. Niehaus will get a chance to recollect. As Schifsky will send this back around the end boards. Gets intercepted by the Spartans. They got it in the middle of the circles, and thankfully for the Wolverines, they're able to escape danger. Here's Ernesi, now near the right side, as this is stolen by Baskel. Baskel will go ahead and clear this one down the ice. Edwards will watch, as this will be settled back down for Fantilli. Luca will put this around the inboards here, as Michigan State will intercept in their own end. Levchinov sends this one down. You got the Webster line out there for the forwards for Nightingale squad. About 4:15 left to go in the first. Michigan State holding on to a 1-0 lead. Here's TJ. Sweet move, as he's got it near the right side of the dot off the spin and turn. Michigan trying to make something happen with Dylan Duke, but this one gets deflected and goes wide. Michigan settle it back down in their own end. And a late hit, maybe an offsides as well. 4:01 in the first, we get a stoppage.
So now everything is coming to transpire. Well, nobody saw this coming for NC State going back to the men's basketball side. But tomorrow, we might have that day circled on our calendars, considering that we have a women's national championship rematch of last year. Iowa and LSU, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Chapter 2.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you too much about the storylines between those two teams, Alec, but I get a feeling, and I'm not trying to base this off of social media sites because I know a lot of that's poison. There might be some divisiveness between Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, but I can tell you this. If you're even a remotely fan of college basketball, I don't care if it's men or women's, tune in for that one tomorrow because you're going to be seeing some theater.
All the storylines, all the narratives. We know what happened last year with LSU getting their first ever title. And then Angel Reese doing the John Cena you can't see me celebration that Caitlin Clark has used before that point. But this should be a fun one. Everyone has to pay attention to that game, no matter if you're a fan of men's college basketball or women's college basketball.
I'm going to go ahead and look at this NC State portion of this box and see what we have here. 58-46. Again, every time Alec gives us the updates, I really just can't believe it. They've only played 7 players in their lineup. Again, that's usually what happens at this time of year. But DJ Burns, again, 23 points, 11-16. Again, he's haunted my dreams as an Oakland fan. Every time he went in the post, anytime he got in the paint, it was pretty much over.
Yeah, you don't allow any of those big men to get to the paint. Those dominant big men that can take over games. That's what usually happens. And ended up with 23. He's now with 23 points, and he's haunting Duke's nightmares. Kyle Filkowski hasn't had the most outstanding of games. He had just 11 points on free, 11 shooting. He's already fouled out. And DJ Horn, who I actually got to watch him play high school ball, he has 18 points.
That's very cool to have that flex in there, Alec. I'm jealous as this is put around the inboards. This will be saved off the short side for Barczewski and now cleared down by Truscott. As Ernesi gets this one to Brindley, try to gain the entry here, and this will be offsides against the Maize and Blue.
They have Michigan. They're going to come off that win over North Dakota. And let's be honest, they're not the same Michigan team from last year considering the talent drop-off. You don't have Adam Fantilli, Luke Hughes, Mackie Samuskevich, or Eric Portillo at your disposal. But Michigan is still a good hockey program. They have that prestigious history. They continue to show that with the success that they have at drawing prospects around.
Yes, they are. I mean, a lot of people would consider, and I will be kind here, a down year for Michigan, but here they are again in the regional final, and the winner is going to go to the Frozen Four. And if you would have told us that at the very beginning of the season, I think we both would have called you liars. I wouldn't have thought that Michigan was almost a Frozen Four team.
And nobody would have thought that Michigan State would be in this position at the first place, considering that they were perennially at the middle or the bottom of the Big Ten. Now the big jump that they made, is this a 15 win improvement?
Yeah, it really is, Alec, and it almost seems, if I want to use the NHL comparison, Florida Panthers run kind of deal, because you just make it in, and then you get an opportunity. You win the class, you win the Big Ten. Then after that, I mean, you didn't have any hopes here, and then you can kind of see Michigan State maybe go to the final. Again, they're going to have to go ahead and go against BC if they win this game, but kind of a worse the first situation. You see that a lot in the NFL, but you don't see that very much in college hockey or any other sports.
You don't. And when we speak of the U.S. gold medal winning team, Trey Augustine was in it, Isaac Howard, Rutger McGroarty, Fred Nazar, Seamus Casey, the top defenseman on Michigan, and Luke Hughes. They'd be teammates if Casey joins the Devils at the tail end of this season.
It's kind of weird to also say that I think the Devils need even more talent. That season did not go the way I don't think either of us expected for them on the NHL side. Nihus, you lost the puck there for a moment, but this is picked up now for Jolwert, as this is a good outstretched pass, and Schifsky now off the spin will go ahead and send it in. Tommy Manisto will take a slap shot around the end boards as the Spartans look to gain control. Again, right to left off the pin. Good work here for Kelly. This will send this off an open side of the inboards, and a good hit for the Spartans. Almost forced a steal. On the right side blue line, this will fall back to Michigan. Off the flip, Michigan now try to get out of their own end, as this is too far. Now intercepted by the Spartans, and near the left side dot off the half spin. Here's a good back pass. This is centered dangerously, and this is tipped wide out of the air as this goes near the left side red line. Ernesti able to get this one down. This is a slap shot from 100 feet. It's stopped by Augustine as they sell Levshinov, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. He's one of the very best in the entire world. And he knows the captaincy now. Will start in his own end for the Spartans. This will be sent all the way down by the goal stick of Barczewski. Will stop it as Holtz. He couldn't really clear it here. He got stuck near the left side of the red line as this puck is just staple gun near the boards, but Michigan able to find it. They'll take a flip. This is intercepted near the players' bench by the Spartans. A good skate through the zone. Have to get back on side off the delay. And now Patrick Geary will watch near the blue line side as this will pinball a few more times. Holtz off the backhand will send it back for Tyler Duke. Tyler Duke now back for Holtz. A little bit inconsistent here for Michigan in their own end. They almost forced a couple turnovers on their own right, as Nazar will just put it in the left side red line. Spartans, as we get to the last minute of the first, John on here with you alongside Alec Nava. Again, it's good to be working back together. The last time we did was the duel in the D, so Michigan State, it's both had our eyes here, as this is now left to right for Michigan. Good pass, Schifsky now. There's a good save right into the stomach of Trey Augustine, and now we get some more cross checks. What else is new?
I mean, it's the old recurring theme. I mean, it may sound like a broken record, but pushes, shovings, cross checks, may all be a theme of this rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State. Natural rivals because of geography, because they're both in the state, just a drive from each other down through the 94.
I know it's a long time for both of us as far as Original Six. Again, we were never alive for any of that, but you have 6 meetings in between these teams, again, in the NHL. That used to happen quite a bit. Again, you got to imagine the blood boiling is going to be at the highest level possible. This was not a bad period for Michigan here, but they're down a goal, and now a stick taken out of the hand. This could be another penalty as well, as now Michigan and Michigan State are getting near each other's players' benches.
There might be a slash on 28 of Michigan State. As I'm looking to get the number, it is 28. Carson Dorwart, the alternate captain. I believe he was part of those main faces of Michigan State who came back on Western Michigan
Yeah, because for Nightingale's squad, as you said, Alec, it's late in the period. You got to lead. You're going to give Michigan at least a. It's not over yet. We got two more periods, but the door open here for their lethal power play. You get a chance to maybe tie it up when you probably don't think they should. Michigan had a decent power play to start. Michigan State had a couple as well, but this is one of the best in the entire landscape of college hockey. So you want to make sure if you're Michigan State, hold on to that one goal lead as much as possible and then build on it when you can in the second. But you got to kill this one first. 22 seconds left to go in this first. As it's Hughes. Now Rutger McGroarty able to get this one now. As this is a stick save for Augustine. This will be brushed near the left side red line. State can't get it out. Rutger McGroarty near the right side bumper. Too wide for Dylan Duke. Down to 5 seconds. And a good stick in the lane. This is going to work out well for the Spartans. Here's opportunity for Shouty. This goes up the glove of Barchesky. And that's how we end one. Michigan State with O'Connell gets the goal. The Spartans are out in front after the first 20.
And not the worst thing in the world for the Wolverines, but you're still down 1-0. They had to avoid major disaster. Michigan State, you're just holding on to the slimmest of leads against your hated rival. And you're trying to preserve this just like you did in Duel of the D. And if not, perhaps overtime. Well, they saw overtime in the Big Ten Championship. Michigan State won that. And if it's such a case, we all know Michigan wants to exact revenge.
Yes, they do. And Alec, if you don't mind, I think we're going to have enough time here. I'm going to go to the TV side. We can check out the end of NC State and Duke. Again, this might already be decided, but it's always fun to watch the celebrations.
And there's DJ Horn, who some of my friends are called Mr. 919, considering that he used to play high school ball at Cary High School. The free throw, maybe double rim, but do remember, Kyle Filipkowski has fouled out of this game. This was not his best game. He had 11 points on 3 of 11 shooting.
That's hard to believe. Again, he's a sophomore now. Is this game on CBS?
It is on CBS.
Okay.
Do.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I got the channels correct here as I'm watching this with you in the final 2 minutes. So NC State and Duke, again, the brackets were already busted in between Oakland and Kentucky, but for anyone else that had NC State on a long run, you definitely will get my hand of applause because I thought Duke was going to be able to handle them. But NC State, they're well coached. They know what they do inside the paint. They get some outside scoring when they need with Horn, as Alex said. I mean, this is a really good college basketball team.
Yeah, even though they closed out the regular season losing 4 straight, they seem to be an interesting team in which they play better when their coach's job is on the line. And they played that way with riding all the way to the ACC tournament title, winning it all, and entering as the 11th seed in the South region, and now about to win 4 and even 9 straight when you include ACC tournament play where they beat UNC and Duke. Imagine a world where NC State is the furthest of the 3 major NC teams to advance in March Madness. This is strange.
Yeah,
exciting.
No kidding, Alec. I completely agree with you on that, sir. And I did hear the same marker about a possible coach fire because they were pretty upset with the way that NC State played. And then with this kind of run, as Burns has it now, he's going to get an and one.
The physicality that it is of DJ Burns, one of the true big men. I mean, you're looking at 6'9", 275. He's feeling himself.
I don't know what to say, Alec. When you talk about, I want to make the previous point before the Burns incredible play about the coach situation. I don't care if NC State wins this whole thing now. It looks like they're going to advance and they're going to find their way into the Final Four. But you go from almost being fired to getting a Final Four berth. That's got to give you an extension, does it not?
Yeah. Kevin Keith, the head coach of NC State, he got himself a 2-year extension heading into March Madness. Well earned now with the way that State has been playing. The Wolfpack howling and all smiles on their faces, including Burns. His dad's watching, and he's got a big smile on his face.
I really don't know how you cover somebody like Burns again. If I always see those chest bumps from him. I think I would get a fracture.
It's like trying to guard Zach Edey of Purdue, who NC State may most likely face.
Did Zach Edey drop 40 today?
And he did. 40 points over Tennessee. Don't you
Man.
connect? Didn't hold up his own with 37 of his own, but it was the Edey show with 40 points on what appears to be a great showdown among big men.
Man, if we get an opportunity to be able to watch Purdue and NC State, I don't know what the side of the brackets are. I haven't followed too closely here, but if that could be our final, I would definitely be down to do that on next Monday. I know I haven't had a chance to cover any of the games of March Madness. You've definitely done a few of those. I know you've enjoyed it, but hopefully I get a chance to do the final again because I'd like to see NC State and Purdue.
You know, if it's UConn and Purdue, oh my, we can see fireworks here. Dan Early's team against the Edey show. That's what I'm calling Purdue now. The Zach Edey show.
I definitely would think that you're right on that because you have all those expectations, but it's one thing to actually, it's easy to miss on those, but it's one thing to actually have all the expectations and get to where you're supposed to be. And Matt Painter, I'm never going to say his job was on the line. It's never has been as the head coach, but he's had to deal with a lot of disappointment over the years.
Yeah, including last year when Purdue lost to Fairleigh Dickinson in the first round. And Virginia, too, like Purdue before them, they lost to a 16 seed in the first round after UMBC. Virginia won it all the following year. Purdue can do the same thing as Virginia did previously. It's realistic now.
So the one thing we can say about Duke in this game, I know it's a half joke, but they were consistent. Again, they outscored North Carolina State 27-21 in the first. That sounds good. But North Carolina State Wolfpack went on a 44-27 run in the second half. And that is why the Wolfpack are up by 11 with 1:39 left to go in this game. Truly unbelievable.
It is. Seeing the 11 seeds make a magical run. I mean, we saw it before with Loyola Chicago, our sister team, watching the biggest supporters of this Loyola Chicago basketball team. Well, now Loyola Chicago has company in NC State.
I think Roach tried to let the three-pointer go, and this one will go wide. This goes off the Blue Devils, so we'll give North Carolina State possession. They got about 87 seconds left to go. I know it's going to feel like an eternity with timeouts, and Duke and John Shire's squad are probably going to have to force themselves to foul or get some steals or play some pressure. They're trying to do so now. And here's a pass in off the backcourt that gets hands, and now we get a whistle here. They almost forced the steal.
I mean, 11. What is it with 11 seeds and doing Cinderella runs to the Final Four? LSU did in '86, George Mason in '06, VCU in 2011, Loyola Chicago 2018, UCLA just 3 years ago, and now we have the Wolfpack, coached by Kevin Keats.
I've heard some of the things on social media, and I know when the naysayers will be, and they'll say this tournament hasn't been that exciting. Well, tell that to NC State because they're going to go to the Final Four.
And tell that to Alabama as they're in their first ever Final Four after knocking off UNC in the Sweet 16, 89-87, and then knocking down Clemson in the Elite Eight, with both of them searching for their first ever Final Four appearances.
Yeah, it's still as good as it's ever been. It's a special time of year, and that's the point that I'm glad that Alec jumped on with me that we're trying to make here. That you could talk about certain teams, certain powerhouses. Yeah, you expect them to make it through certain parts of the tournament, maybe even get to the Sweet 16. But when you get down to the round of 32 and in the round of 16, honestly, Alec, I know this is just window dressing here, and it goes without saying. All these college basketball teams are good, and anybody can beat anybody in a given game.
Any given game. We saw that last year. We had a 4, 2 5s, and a 9 in the Final Four. UConn, San Diego State, Miami of Florida, and FAU. Yeah, we covered the national championship and the Miami-UConn game.
I'm looking at McCain here for the Devils. He's got 23 points for the Blue Devils, 11 of 11 from the line. And Jeremy Roach is there right now. He's trying to be able to finish this one off, and he misses it off the front of the rim. And this will be an easy clear for Diarra. And we're going to go back to the free throw line because both teams in the bonus plus. That's not what Duke needs right now.
I mean, that's the only option that Duke relatively has if they're trying to get back in this game and have any slim hopes. That you need to intentionally foul any of these NC State players. Perhaps if you try to avoid that strategy, you're wanting to do this more towards the worst free throw shooters on the court for NC State.
I still can't believe what we might be seeing here right now. Everybody's got the hats. They're really enjoying it. Again, I thought, honestly, and this is shame on me, that the Texas Tech Red Raiders would have an opportunity against NC State only because they've been to the Final Four before and they were well coached. But NC State said, no problem. And then Duke here, no problem. And it's a late three. And now it's a 10-point game as this is finished off for McCain. So the Blue Devils trying to hold on. But it's not like NC State has had easy matchups all the way through. They've just kind of run the gauntlet.
Yeah, not at all. Texas Tech, I thought that game was a toss-up. The 6-11 matchups are usually some of the more confusing ones because that's not an easy matchup if you're a 6 seed. That's not guaranteed. You have to get past the 11 seed at the first West. NC State said, we're going to take that one down for the second half and ram it down through your throats.
Yes.
After a close first half. Then Oakland, 14 seed that recently just knocked out Kentucky. No problem. Overtime. No problem. Marquette, who people were saying that they could make an Elite 8 run, but unsure of where because of their schedule. But me personally, it was a matter of when Marquette would lose and not if Marquette would lose. So I didn't imagine it would be to NC State, who said, no problem. And now Duke, no problem, as you said.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that the goal that they kind of run through it. Even for Marquette, for me, I had my eyebrows raised in the air. But then at this point, there really isn't any upsets anymore. Whoever ends up winning this deserves to win it. We've tried to say that with the NC State Wolfpack, and they just keep proving all the naysayers, including myself, as the next games will be settled here for Saturday on April 6th, Alabama and UConn. As Alec helped me figure out which sides of the bracket we're on and which sides they're supposed to be, and then Purdue, and then we're going to see NC State Purdue if this is what the result is going to be. Again, both those times are TBD right now. Again, we're still waiting for all that, but Saturday, April 6th, and then the championship game Monday, April 8th. I know I will be there for the championship game. I got some Waterford Sharks duties on the 5th and 6th, so I can't cover any of the stuff for college basketball. But if I get home in time and you're covering it, I will definitely listen in, as there's 1 minute left. And again, Duke is trying the full court pressure, and this will be broken. And another and one for Burns.
26, or should I say 28? He's on a heater. There's no slowing him down by now. Another and one to him. And that's despite everything that's going on with Duke. What can go wrong in the second half has went wrong for them, despite the 26 from Garrett McCain. And even though both the hours close to fouling out, no problem for the Wolfpack. This might have been one of their best, if not the best run that they've had in the century.
Are we really going to get a matchup where I can salivate a little bit? Again, I'm going to miss most of the game, I would think, depending on how late it's going to be. For Zach Edey and Burns down in the paint, sign me up.
Probably looking like Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid in NBA terms.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I know Alabama UConn is going to be no slouch, but I am a little bit more of a fan of paint battles myself, a little more old school basketball. I know live and die by the three, some of these teams, but honestly, that's going to be a good matchup. I know Edey is really good. I don't want to throw any disparaging there. It's a lot easier maybe when you're about 7'2", 7'3", but I think for Burns and for Edey, I mean, that's like two monster trucks going at each other, honestly.
It does feel that way. Two monster trucks. That's the perfect way to describe it. And when you have a dangerous guard center combo that can not only shoot the free but can also knock it down in the paint, you have yourself a star duo. And not only DJ Burns being the big nickname center for NC State, but also DJ Horn, who has that crafty shooting guard.
Yeah, doesn't it kind of seem that way then? Because Purdue is also the same mirror match. They have a lot of three-point shooters and an inside guard there with Edie. It kind of feels like this could be a good matchup between the two.
It does. Not sleeping on that matchup because, well, many are going to say Purdue being sort of back as 1 versus 11.
Sure.
But we're not going to count out NC State in any regard.
No, you definitely can't now because, again, we said it against Marquette, and we can say it now against Duke here. This is really a shocker. Three-pointer. Good move right on the right side baseline as this is Can near the right line. And again, Duke is forced into the full court pressure last time. NC State got an and one, and now they're going to be able to kill some more time here as this is across the timeline. At least I believe there's a foul before that. 40 seconds left to go in the game. And I'm going to go ahead and just take a quick flip and see where our intermission is for our featured game between Michigan and Michigan State.
That's where we're in the middle of the first intermission. As the ESPN Plus side, they're showing the advertisements for the push for the Stanley Cup playoffs, which will be starting right around April 20th through the 22nd.
I'm glad, Alec, that you are so nice to me that you're not asking me Red Wings questions. I will just say that because I am feeling like I want to cry still, considering how bad that everything has just fallen apart.
Man, I wish my Penguins could say the same thing about playoffs, but it was a lost season. Let's be honest here. Yeah, power play hasn't gone well. Goaltending and Sidney Crosby have bailed us out on most occasions, and that's all I can really say. Despite the big acquisition of Erik Karlsson, it just feels like this team is going out sad.
Yeah, both of our squads are both very proud, and especially for you, Alec, on that side. Again, you're more of a recent Stanley Cup champion than the Red Wings are with the Pens, but at least for the Canes, you really have to feel good about that. I definitely think that they're powerful, and then you have the addition. It's a good thing I switched because we're just underway here. And if you want to take this, Alec, you can. Again, we will also give you the finish here for NC State and Duke. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, I'll take the second period here. So Michigan's on the power play. We're 30 seconds deep. I am Alec Nava, joined here by John Ott. Happy to have you here for the regional final here at Maryland High, just outside St. Louis. This just so happens to be the St. Louis Blues practice facility where they're playing at. Fun fact. Oh, just missed a pass right behind for Michigan as they're regrouping here. 46 seconds to go on the power play as they start things up. Coast to coast, they employ it. Here's Brindley taking us in. Right around, but can't get past Niehaus. Michigan State trying to clear, and it's now picked up by 21, who I believe is Red Savage. He just shoots this one down as he was closed on by Ethan Edwards and Gavin Brindley. DJ Hughes, no relation to Jack Quinn or Luke Hughes. He'll drop this back. Tight coverage on Frank Nazar by Savage, and Savage tips this forward. Backwards for Edwards with 10 to go on the man advantage. 18:30 left in the second half. And as we're down to the final seconds of NC State and Duke, NC State still dancing. They'll face Purdue in the Final Four at the Sonoran Desert. How do you like that?
Man, oh man, Alec, there's a lot going on today, and there's been a lot of surprising results. We'll see what Michigan State will bring us now, but congratulations to the Wolfpack.
Congratulations indeed. They get 2 more because why not? As we got 4 action going on here. Behind the net is Marcus Stoppa, the 4th line for Michigan, right back to the point where Truscott sends this around over to the near boards to Warren, who chips this in to hold it in. Michigan State clears it out, though. And this is a 2-on-1 back the other way. It's going to be a 3-on-1. Pushback is Earnesty. And that shot was stopped by Schifsky. Michigan going back the other side, but Michigan State beats them to it. Forward, backwards. They start things up. Down the far side they go into. Stopped by Marshevsky on the kick save from the left pad. And the Wolverines see this one go back into their zone, regrouping for his offensive zone pressure, holding it up from Tyler Duke. Duke to the left side for Keenan Dreamer. Backhand. This goes over the goal line. That was dangerously close. But that was above the goal net and above the crossbars. It took a bounce. A wild one. Full race for the puck.
Man, that's the second time that Trey Augustine had watched this puck bounce over the bar, this time to the right post, as both goaltenders had their life flashing before their eyes. Let's start it here. First, a 3-on-1 for the Spartans, and they go up to elect for the shot. This is stopped by the right pad of Jake Barczewski, and on the other end, a little flip across the board, stopped by Augustine. My goodness.
My goodness, indeed, you put that on the correct terms. And normally, when you have Frozen 4 games, they would normally be played at AHL type arenas. They get the capacity of 10,000 plus people or around that area, so we get another stoppage. This is the St. Louis Blues practice facility, by the way, just outside of St. Louis.
Wonder how much that they hold, because it certainly feels like this is a packed house in this Maryland Heights regional final.
Yeah, even the organ sounds the same as what it's played
It
at.
does.
We have a Blues fan in attendance, maybe some Blues scouts in attendance. We don't know.
Oh, we definitely would. Again, you think about some of the other guys like Jimmy Snuggerud on that side from Minnesota. I mean, you got to watch him a little bit. There are a lot of scouts, I'm sure, watching this.
And well, they could get more of those.
Sure.
As we now go back into play, as Michigan, they're trapped in their own zone. Holding this inside is left shot. Back deep, deep shot. O'Connell, he missed the net. The Spartans can't hold this one through. They turn it away to Luca Fantilli, the brother of Adam Fantilli. He gets this one over to the Michigan bench. Brindley in trouble. He just shoots this one in to get some line changes, and the Spartans restart. They're green and white. Over the near side, close up on that lane. Michigan will recollect with Marshall Warren. They say they're offside. It's not a legal entry.
I will say this, Alec. As far as Michigan State, I know they got the goal with O'Connell. But we saw it a little bit in the second period just now. We're only 4 minutes in. Michigan State's doing a pretty good job when they get the puck in the offensive end and get settled, get traffic out in front of Jake Barczewski. See if that maybe gives them a couple extra goals. I haven't seen a lot of that from Michigan. They kind of been in the overload toward the dots, trying to get shots, but Michigan State's looking more to crash the net today.
Yeah, it seems that way with the number of bodies being put in front of the nets, such as guys like O'Connell, who was ready to deflect that one shot that led to the only goal this far. Up behind that one-timer, Augustine was there. Might have got a piece of it as it goes wide. Right circle, Michigan tries again. Augustine sees that one go right in front of him. And the Spartans get this one out, gloved down by Warren. They graduate to an alternate captain for the Wolverines, sent backwards to Sturbach, over to the near half wall, tip for Mike Davidson, who had the overtime winner against Western Michigan 2 days ago. Fired in by the Spartans, Barczewski now behind his net, handing it off for Warren. Tap pass on the backhand right in front, and now a full race for the puck. One-on-one battle, and touching up between them was Michigan State. The icing is canceled out. Daniel Russell going cross ice over to Webster. Webster moves inside. Barczewski now behind the net. Closing in was Russell, but Barczewski got it off in time. Michigan State now recollecting behind the net. Out in front. Loose puck. Tap forward. No shot. Here come the Wolverines back here side. They try to get this one in. They hold this in after Michigan State tried to clear. One-timer near side. And Augustine shut that one down. The second one went out of play up high.
Oh, wow, that was a heck of a setup there for Michigan. It was started near the left side, down a pass back off a one-timer, stopped by the left pad of Augustine. It gets loose in front of the dots and then gets shot high. Augustine has certainly been on his game so far. Again, we talked about the Red Wings prospect drafted in the second round. He's looked quite good.
And he has thus far. Already got shutout. Trey Augustine was 1-0 though. The last game was a 5-4 overtime win as Michigan State. Oh, they were so close to getting the second goal of this game. Near corner, Michigan trying to clear. They have possession. They skate this out to center as Hughes. Hughes looking to the left side for Dylan Duke. Fired across. Even Edwards scores! Into the tie hockey game on a one-timer by Ethan Edwards.
Rolling puck from Dylan Duke to Ethan Edwards. Doesn't matter. He settles it down near the slot and fires a clapper, and this game is tied.
Oh, what a blast by Edwards, the junior, out of St. Albert, Alberta. Funny coincidence of the city and province name, but that was a nice setup by Dylan Duke. It was a rolling puck, as he said it, high slot,
It's just right off the rush. Here's a good flip entry as we get the replay there from Hughes and Edwards. It kind of looked like a simple design, but that first pass to enter the zone, again, that was rolling off a sauce. That was very clean for the Wolverines. They'll take it.
Yeah, Yells will take any one of these goals any day of the week. So we get back into action here. 14:05. We had the time goal from Edwards. No offside. Here comes McGroarty. Save. Rebound available. Michigan State can't clear it out. Another shot block. Warren on the backhand. Can't find anyone right for the net, but not out. Michigan just holds it in. It's Brindley at the near corner. Trying to pass it backwards. And Michigan State able to survive a scare. Now they're back at the other side. A shot by Levchenov. He misses the net. And over the far side. And someone might have got tripped. That might have been 21 Red Savage. But we'll play onwards here. But the Spartans, they were arguing for a call. That was over the opposite corner. The Spartans start over again. Turn around shot from O'Connell and exits the zone. Now O'Connell having to race back. Here's obviously way out. He places to the near blue line for Sturbach. The 8. Up for the middle, back for O'Connell. O'Connell to the net. Glove save by Schifsky. It's not out. Held in by Michigan State, but Nazar gets to it after a poke. Nazar goes across to the opposite circle. 7 minutes gone. Edwards the lone goal in the second period. The Wolverines back here sires Tyler Duke, the brother of Dylan Duke, both from Strongsville, Ohio. Duke now behind the net. Trying to hand his one off to Oldenhauer. Can't do so. Estapa on the hole. Can't find anyone around, but jumping to this puck was one of the defenders. That was Stephen Holtz, 24. Just as Estapa gets shoved towards the board, the Michigan fans are wondering for a penalty. There's a hand up in the air. We will get a penalty. Indeed, as Michigan State touches up, the Wolverines back to the power play.
Man, that definitely looked like boarding. You're telling me before Michigan State has a couple opportunities, they don't score with traffic in front, and then you get Rutger McGroarty on a breakaway, essentially on a one-on-one, as the puck goes dangerously across the blue paint and somehow it doesn't go in. This second period is starting to get spicy.
Spicy is the key word here because we're seeing all action between the Wolverines and the Spartans. We know about them and their history. These two hate each other. We're going to commercial break, but that was clear and intentional boarding by Michigan State.
Yeah, we'll see if Michigan can take advantage of it. I was going to say before that goal was scored that it looked like Michigan State maybe was looking like going up 2-3-0, and all of a sudden a complete reversal, and now Michigan gets the power play. Hey, we did see that against the game in North Dakota when Michigan got a power play and North Dakota came back and scored. So you can't have that happen if you're in the maize and blue, but this is a big-time opportunity for the Wolverines, and honestly, Alec, I think they need to take advantage of it right now while they have momentum.
You have to take advantage of it at this moment if you're Michigan on this power play because you have the best power play in all of college hockey, putting up numbers reminiscent to last year's Oilers power play.
Yeah. They look really good when they get the man advantage here. Again, they keep showing, as Alec mentioned, the road to the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm feeling it this time of year. And we got early hockey action here as we're trying to get to the Frozen Four. We got the NCAA tournament. It's one of the best times of the year. And by the way, Alec, I need to give you a shout out. Your Pittsburgh Pirates are 4-0.
Oh, yeah. It's at the start of the baseball season. I didn't picture us sweeping the Miami Marlins to start the season, but here we are after a rocky offseason where we didn't know what to expect. But the big fish that we acquired, or the closest one to being a big fish, apparently was Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah. He's a guy that's been around and always an elder statesman, but when you can still throw 102 and you got that slider, it's a pretty good piece to get. And honestly, Alec, I know some people would laugh at this, but I can't anymore. I think Pittsburgh is one of those teams that is definitely up and coming. If we get a chance to cover some baseball games, I honestly wouldn't mind covering the Pirates.
I wouldn't mind either, especially you factor in Chapman. Perfect setup, man, for David Bednar to close out a ball game.
Yeah, David Bednar is one of the best in the business. You got O'Neill Cruz and a few other pieces there. Jack Sawinski, they're good. Take it away. It's a 1-1 game. Michigan's on the power play.
Yeah, Michigan State has possession short-handed, one-on-one with Edwards. A quick shot. Schifsky held that up. He'll cover up just 14 seconds into the man advantage. That was Terran Shouty with the short
He's a guy that gets a lot of opportunity on the PK for Nightingale squad and Shouty, and he always looks pretty good. And we'll only have a second here. I'll just throw some of that plus minus. Again, Levshinov, one of the best at plus 28. And when you think about Niehaus, the captaincy, plus 21, they do not allow a lot of damage. Their penalty kill third in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and an electric power play can be shut down by an equally defensible penalty kill. There's a stout as Michigan State's. So Michigan, they're on the attack here. Edwards heads out to the right side. McGroarty's looking down low. Cross pass on the slot, and Augustine shut that one down. Michigan State gets it out 40 seconds deep. Schifsky now behind that. He'll leave behind for Edwards, the setup man on the power play. Lead the way up front, and at one point he's going to drop back to Brindley now. 1:08 to go on the man advantage. 11:39 on the second period. Brindley dropping back one more over to McGroarty. McGroarty double team finds the open Edwards. Across for DJ Hughes. Hughes to top of the left circle back for Edwards. And to the right side for McGroarty. McGroarty looking, same one down low. And back to McGroarty this goes. Over the near far corner. And Michigan trying to stuff it in. Augustine closes the door just in time. 47 on the man advantage.
I got to tell you, that first save that we had off the slap shot, it was open to the left side dot. That is a monumental stop there for Trey Augustine. We're talking about scouts maybe being in the building. Well, you can look on that for Trey Augustine because Edwards set it up near the right side dot. McGroarty gets the pass across. And I mean, that's a point-blank save with the left pad.
Yeah, with all the action, that's basically being called life on the fast lane if you're a hockey fan. Speaking of life on the fast lane, for the motorsports fans out there, they're currently racing at Richmond in NASCAR, the Toyota Owners 400. Kyle Larson claimed the pole. He has the lead right now. He's led most of the laps here. And 3 of the 4 Hendrick Motorsports cars are in the top 5. Larson, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman. 5, 9, and 48. William Byron outside the top 10. So Michigan looking to set up. They can't do it for the moment, but Nazar just gets us across on the back end. Odenauer drops back over to Truscott. Back to Nazar, who sets things up, taking himself. To the right side is Odenauer. One of the 2 star freshmen alongside Garrett Schifsky. Odenauer in front. And Stapa couldn't tip this one into the goal net. And Stapa pinned behind the net. And backhanded out by Michigan State. They'll kill off the rest of the man advantage. Another successful kill by the Spartans as Truscott, the captain, will look behind, and then over to the left side, he beats us up. Moving up now is Caden Draper, the son of Chris Draper, the $1 man. But right in his face was the 2 of Michigan State, Patrick Gary. They look to set things up. Right side, they enter. Pass goal. Right on goal. And Schifsky shut that one down. 10-10 to go in the second period.
Again, you had a couple rushes. That one was pretty good defended there for Edwards. He stopped basketball. Let them just shoot a long shot rather than get a pass across. And with 10-10 left, as Alex said, this second period, feels like he's got a lot more action on top of it than I did. Again, not just because Michigan scored, but this has been a second period that has been back and forth. I'm not really sure who it favors right now. I think both these teams, to me, Alec, are playing pretty even.
And it's evenly balanced. We don't know who's going to be a clear winner here. I mean, there's just one team playing better than another. At one point, the other team is playing better than another point. It just feels like it's a matter of seconds when one team is playing better than the other. It's just back and forth. We just don't know who's the clear winner at this point. It's Michigan State in the offense zone. Draper, he just sandwiched one of the Spartans. And as Spartans down, Michigan State retaliates by taking one of the other Wolverines. That was Warren who got struck down. But Michigan jumping this one in. Basco dropping back to get this away. But Michigan, sweet move. It's Nazar twice. Augustine. Oh, my. Frank Nazar, how do you do? That was like
Man, oh man, Tyler Duke takes a shot there, but excuse me if I want to go back just for Frank Nazar doing a couple of windmills trying to make something happen on his own. I know he's got a lot of talent. I haven't seen him put those moves on very much. So Duke is down, and then Duke's going to the box, it looks like, Alan.
I don't know what is the chaos behind everything that's going with Duke. He got shoved towards the boards. Maybe he's drawing the penalty here, but Nazar, he missed the net entirely. You got to finish that if you're making those sweet moves. Well, learn from Rick Nash. Get one of the best goals
Right. Right. Is it one of those ones where the $1 million moves in the 10-cent finish? Well, you couldn't buy anything on that one. And again, Rick Nash, again, when you think about that, that put it right into my brain. That's one of the best goals ever.
Indeed, he's one of the more memorable goals ever shown in NHL history between this and the Alex Ovechkin sliding goal in his rookie season. We just can't decide which one's the better one because you can't go wrong with either one.
No, I'm right there with you. I think those are two perfect calls. Again, this is a good time to do it for those that are just joining or be listening in. Again, BC takes the 5-4 win over Quinnipiac, so the defending champions are gone. It was goalless after one, and then Quinnipiac with a couple of goals. They started with a 2-0 lead, 2-0 lead, 119-154 in the period from Jacob Quinlan and Rassinen with his fourth. But BC bounces right back. They get a quick goal about 30 seconds later from Ryan Leonard, his 30th in the college hockey season from Cutter Gauthier and Aaron Powell. Andre Gusseau ties it with his 12th from Jelvik and Gustafson. Christophe Filion with his 12th as Quinnipiac tries to get back on the board, but then Ryan Leonard gets it a tie game after two. Jacob Quinlan and Mintonen and the third exchange goals, and then BC finishes it off in OT, and it's just Jack Malone with his 12th from Colby Abrinso and Drew Fortescue at the 3:06 marker. They break the hearts of Quinnipiac quickly.
Yeah, that was a quick finish here. That was strange because we thought the penalty was going to be on Michigan State for boarding. Apparently not. There'll be 2 minutes for holding for Tyler Duke. He heads to the box. Just Adam Nightingale is getting interviewed by Roxy Bernstein and Ben Kleiber on the ESPN side. So now we go back into play with Michigan State on the man advantage. It's their turn now after they killed off Michigan's power play. They get started up. O'Connell, he had the goal in the first period earlier. Right circle, dropping back. That was picked up by TJ Hughes. Given away. And for Schifsky, he bails out Michigan on the giveaway.
Oh my goodness, what a glove save that was. It was just before the middle of the circles, and he flashed the leather there, Alec. Again, as you said, that is an awful giveaway, and that is Carson Dorwart that gets absolutely stonewalled.
Carson Dorwart, one of those players you can deal with for Michigan State, is scoring by committee for the Spartans. Though we do have an update from Richmond in the NASCAR race in the Toyota Owners 400. They are red flagging the race for rain, it appears.
Again, I've been to a couple NASCAR races in Brooklyn, Michigan, and when it's for rain, it takes a long time to dry that track. It takes about an hour and 20 minutes, so that is no fun.
Yeah, it's no fun, but I'm not sure what the red flag. Usually, the first 3 races were red flag for track cleanup and wall repair. The first 2 for track cleanup, the third for wall repair. So we're getting a delay here on the face-off with 1:15 to go. It'd be on my bucket list to go to a race over Charlotte considering it's the closest from Cary where I'm at.
It's not a bad idea. Like I've been, again, like I said, in Brooklyn, Michigan a couple times. I went to the Indy 500. Again, the Indy is a little bit different because the cars are a lot faster, but if you do enjoy it, Alec, I would encourage you to go at least once or twice.
Yeah, it would be nice. So, we do now have the face-off here. Good holding by Michigan State as they look to get another power play goal on the board. Power play quarterback is Levshunov. He has the puck now. Adding it out to the right side for Mueller. Shot on goal. Doesn't go. And Holt's trying to clear this one out. But waiting there at the half wall was Mueller to the near side. Dropping back for Levshunov. Take the one-timer to left circle. Back for Levshunov. When you look back, now he here's the one-timer. That was blocked in front. That was Joey Larson, 18. No relation to Kyle Larson, the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion. As we speak of NASCAR in Michigan, playing the game fast like NASCAR. We're going all sorts of NASCAR because we're talking motorsports all of a sudden. With 32 left on the power play for Michigan State, they get a shot off. And for Schifsky, he slows down the track on Nick Mueller.
Yeah, good save there for Barchevsky, way out of his goal crease again. Again, sometimes your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender on your power play. That's what they say this time on the kill. It's not like State hasn't gotten a couple opportunities, but that one was fortunate. It bounced off the referee.
It's a rather awkward sequence when you have pucks bounce off the referee and stay in the field of play by the offensive zone. Remember, one of those goals by the Dallas Stars when they faced the St. Louis Blues was off the referee and it bounced over to Matt Zuccarello, and Zuccarello scored the tying goal. That was Game 7 when they lost in double overtime on a Patrick Maroon tap-in goal. Good shot. That was stopped by Barchevsky. At the near corner, Michigan picks it up and they get this one out thanks to a shove towards the boards. That's how hockey is played there. Of a quick shove towards the boards and shutting down the attackers. Power play's over, but Michigan State is back in. They have 17 shots to Michigan's 19. Near corner, they fight for this puck. 6 ready to go. Open man. Left side's left it up. They're both fighting for it. Barchevsky down. It's at the far side now. And Michigan trying to not ice this. And no icing it is. And not making up for the red goal line. And Michigan State moving this one up through center. Inside is 26, Tanner Kelly. At the near corner, collected by Manisto. 10 in white and green. Manisto moves this one around behind and then for Dorward. Dorward being shoved away by Van Tilly. Back to the left point. Holding it is Sturbach. Left side just goes. And Barchevsky shuts that one down on a straightaway shot. 5:54 remains here. Second period.
Man, that was awfully close as it was Barchevsky having to spin. Again, as Levshinov was right there, as Alec mentioned. Rebounds were there to be had. We talked about the momentum meter. That might have bounced off TJ Ward's helmet as well. As I'm looking at this, it did. It hit his helmet. He saved a goal.
Yeah, he saved one. I mean, sometimes defensemen can't play goaltender. This is rare in college hockey and NHL, but sometimes that is needed there when you're seeing a puck trying to go into net. Broken stick is on the ice. The shot goes wide. That's at the left circle. Now it's over to near corner. Michigan State moving this one around. Still that broken stick is out there. At what point are they going to have to get this one out to play? You'd imagine it's going to be established there. Barchevsky jumping to the right. This one goes wide of him. He wasn't even tested. It is held in by the 6 of Michigan State Wolverines. Now it's behind the net as the Spartans are looking for an open lane. They're trying to put this one in. Barchevsky shut the door there. They rushed to this puck. That was Lebster, 23. At the half wall, it's now Michigan. Tyler Duke, the 5, and the maize and blue. They move this to the far side as they're moving this one up across the red line, shooting this one around with the boards. Slowed down by Augustine. Dylan Duke here at the near corner, but Sturbach moves away from him on his forehand, going opposite side. Let them fight this going into second period. The Spartans moving this one through. Mueller closed off at the half wall far side, can't get this one up. And now is the LaPointe who gets this one down. Recollected by the Spartans, which was Gary, in the far side for Lebster. Lebster moves around on his backhand. Swept away at the far corner, driven backwards to the point. Gary again, across for Pascal. Pascal moves it over to the opposite corner where this is rough Lebster. Lebster can't get anything. He is tied up by Draper. And that allows Michigan to walk with this puck. 4:20 to go. This was shot down for the distance. Augustine stick this one away, but right onto LaPointe's stick. Schifsky can't handle this one from LaPointe. And back to Michigan State this goes. Moved out in front over to center. And for the near side is O'Connell, who can't get this one inside. Here's Brindley. Back the other way. Brindley sends this one through. Tight shot. Shut down by Augustine. One-on-one back the other way if Michigan hurries. Here's O'Connell. Slowed down and down on his knees. Trying to get back up. He does so. Less than 4 to go on the period. Held into the point by Michigan State as they keep it over at the opposite corner. Now over to the near side is Levshinov. Fighting for this puck. He's at the half wall. Watched by Nazar. This is still up for grabs between either side. Michigan does get it out. And moving up is backhand this one through, but in the way of Neathouse. Right across for McGroarty. McGroarty through traffic, and Augustine saw the traffic his way. 3:24 to go.
That's a good chance there for Michigan. There was traffic out in front as Brindley tried to obscure the vision of Augustine. Again, I had my heart in my throat a little bit there. If you're a Michigan fan, especially over the last, 4 minutes there, Alec, it looked like Michigan State was pressing the Wolverines very well. They had them gassed, close to conceding a goal, and now they finally are able to get it the other way, and we get a TV timeout. I think Michigan's going to need to take an extra breath here.
Yeah, they do, given the way that things have been played out throughout the period. Oh, by the way, it was not a rain delay in the NASCAR race. They say that it was track cleanup that was the result of the red flag. They're currently in the first stage. Bubba Wallace was the leader at the time of caution. The pace car lights are off. So they're at the last lap of caution. They'll come back on 3 with 22 to go.
So that one will probably end here pretty soon. I know this is a very early question to ask you here, Alec, but I want to move to baseball really quick because guess who's 0-4 on the season? The Houston Astros. They lose all 4 games to the New York Yankees, led by Juan Soto and company. Are they? That's a surprise to us, isn't it?
And that's a big shocker. I mean, you don't expect the Astros of all teams to drop their first 4 games of the season, especially for a perennial playoff contender like them. But that's the eye-opener. That you have a team like the Astros losing to the Yankees, maybe you're realizing that sometimes championship eras may come to an end sooner than later, but I'm not going to buy into the fact that this run is over this early. We're still at, and for the Astros, you still have 158 more games left.
Sure. And again, that's exactly what we're saying on that side, but it's a surprising result. But we can tell you the early returns for Juan Soto and the Yankees, that's a checkmark box. That's definitely a good thing for New York.
Yeah, there were questions about the defensive side for the Yankees, but so far, so good for Juan Soto, one of the 2019 World Series champions with the Washington Nationals. So we're back here, 3:20 to go, and both teams, it's up for grabs. State has it. For the far side, they enter in. It is 20 of Michigan State. That is Daniel Russell. Is now behind the net, poked away by the Wolverines, but jumping to the puck now is Howard to keep it in. Isaac Howard to Daniel Russell, and over to the point. Held in by Neathouse. Neathouse down low for his teammate, 28. That is Dorwart. Puck loose, held in by Levchinov, who jumps onto the puck. The shot went nowhere. In fact, it went wide to Schifsky's right. Right around the boards, beat out in front, loose puck. Schifsky saw it, jumped on it, covers it up.
Now, Michigan State trying to come back and end the second period on a good note as they were just playing puck possession keep away there. I like that Dorwart line, the top line in the mix in between Howard and Russell, Levchinov and Neathouse. They consistently do some damage and kind of keep the puck away from the opponents. Again, they're showing ESPN Hockey Night between the Oilers and the Blues. I happen to think everything in the West might already be decided.
Maybe for both conferences, we don't know just yet. It's not official, but the eye-opener here is that the Capitals have taken third place from the Flyers.
Yes. Yeah, all of a sudden it opens up some hope for desperate Red Wings fans, and maybe they can catch the Flyers. Who knows? It might be their only window, but yeah, I didn't expect the Capitals to even be a playoff team.
I mean, nobody did, especially their negative 30 goal difference before they jumped onto a playoff spot. Who saw this coming?
Crazy.
It truly is a strange world. Tanner Kelly over the near corner, shoved away, but just in time finds Madison on the opposite corner. Now behind the net, Kelly can't grab it. His teammate can, but now it's forced away from Sturbach and all the way out to center. Globbed down by Michigan as they retake possession. Estapa, 94 in the base in blue. Sends it inside, Warren on a tap. Can't hold it in the zone with 2 minutes to go, and back the other way is Kelly. Kelly finds this man, Manisto. Manisto dead at the near corner. And that it loses in possession. What a hit by Michigan as the stop is back in. The fourth line pressing for Michigan, but not for long though, as the Spartans are back with this. 1:43 in the period. Back inside goes Webster. Webster, tight shot. Schifsky got a piece. It's back in the left point, held in by State, but Edwards saw it all the way, intercepts has it for a split second before they were shoved away in the final minute of the second period. Schifsky gloves this one down, seeing no Spartan near heavy, leases for his open teammate. And we do have something here with 54 seconds as some players are slowing down. Maybe a penalty? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the whistle was, but Michigan State did take a late exception, got a hit on Tyler Duke, and now players are starting to gather near the right side boards. Again, and not a 5-4 situation that we had during the duel on the D, but another close game. It's very testy, and they haven't really shown us what the whistle was going to be for just yet. I'm not too sure, Al.
I mean, we're not sure either. There's not and to correct you, it's not a 3-2 situation like Duel in the D, not a 5-4 situation like the Big Ten Championship. Well, we just got word about what the whistle was for. Artem Levchinov is getting sent to the sin bin.
What did Levchinov do? That's the question. I hope that they show this again. You got this near behind the net of Schifsky, and they're showing Davidson a little bit of a spear, but I'm not seeing Levchinov just yet.
I think he grabbed Warren down and
I got it now. Yep, he threw him down on that side. So that was definitely the call. And you know what? If you're Adam Nightingale, this is another one of those situations, Alec, that we just talked about, especially from the first and now going into the second. Another late penalty. You can't do that in the period.
You cannot, especially this late in the period when you're in a must-win situation, trying to solidify your spot in the Frozen Four to face off against the best team in the nation, Boston College. 33 seconds left in the period, 1:37 on the power play. If Michigan doesn't score here, they'll be carried over power play time to start off the burn. Gavin, Brindley, blazing speed, Connor McDavid style. Back across goes CJ Hughes. And Brindley, back over to Hughes, still looking down low. Hughes going across for McGroarty. Back in front, trying to tuck this in. Augustine down. It's out of the net. Not in. 10 seconds to go in the period. Michigan State's going to clear. One last chance if Michigan's going to take it. Here's Edwards with speed. 2 seconds, 1 second, and on the right side. Last shot. Turned away by Augustine from the point, and that's going to end off the second period. The lone goal in the second from Ethan Edwards.
Well, Alec, we just talked about what you didn't want to have happen. In Michigan State, I think very fortunate as Trey Augustine has had some words. He's not very happy about what happened in front of his net, but you have to expect that with the power play, you're going to be trying to just break away right in the middle of that blue line and where the goalie is at and try to go ahead and stuff it in. Michigan with a series of passes, and then Duke is right there just trying to slam away at it. And that is what Augustine took exception at. But Michigan State survives. They've only given up one, and as in the two, as you said, it's a 1-1 game after 40 minutes, and we might be tracking for another classic between these two.
Another chapter in this rivalry. We had one at the Duel in the D when we last had our Michigan versus Michigan State coverage. There was the Big Ten Championship where Michigan State took it in overtime by 4. And we might have another one here in this thriller. Who knows if overtime may be at the doorstep, but that would be 5 overtimes if it's possible in the first 2 rounds of this tournament after having just 2 all of last year's tournament.
Welcome to the path of the Frozen Four in 2024. Life is good if you're a hockey fan. Especially also, I will say, if you're a fan of the NCAA tournament, that's also been good as well. You've had some upsets. Again, what we both thought happened. Boston College defeats Quinnipiac. That one in OT is the defending national champions go down, but Boston College will get the winner of Michigan State. And if Michigan or Michigan State can play this way against Boston College, maybe I should say that Boston College won't be licking their chops. I think they're going to be ready for a stern test.
Yeah, would it be between BU or Denver? Whoever wins that game, there's going to be a stern test, as you said, especially considering everything around Denver. They were upset last year in the first round by Cornell, exacted revenge against Cornell in the second round, and it looks like they're back to form. And honestly, that semifinal game between BU and Denver may be one to watch.
BU Denver would be a lot of fun to watch, and I hope that I get a chance to catch some more of it if I'm not too busy with all the Sharks things on Friday and Saturday. Hopefully we can open up a Sunday, or at least I know next Monday, as I said, between the NCAA basketball championship. If you're not already working with somebody, I'll definitely join in there with you. I'm just happy to be working with you now. Again, it kind of saves me a little bit because I'm dealing with a cold and all the other stuff. So if I talk a little bit delirious, it's only because of allergy pills.
No worries, John. It's all good.
So it's been a lot of fun. Again, I know it's been a good start for both of our baseball teams. I think the Detroit Tigers beat the White Sox again by another 1-run score. So they're up 3-0 in the standings. Pittsburgh up 4-0. I know it's only 1-run games, and the White Sox aren't going to be very good this year, but the Tigers do have another opportunity because their schedule, Alex, starts up pretty easy. You got the Mets in a 3-game series, and then you have the home opener at Comerica Park against Oakland. Am I being disingenuous to say I think the Tigers probably should start 7-2 in their 9 games?
It seems that way, perhaps for the Tigers, as we look at their schedule. Yeah, you have the White Sox in your first series, and the Mets in your second series. That you can win two games.
Sure.
It's going to be a close series between them and the Mets. The Mets, they may be a little disappointed after several losses against the Brewers, who lost Corbin Burns in the offseason. That was their ace pitcher to the Baltimore Orioles as he was out there. But you also have the Oakland A's in your first series. That's a winnable series.
Yeah, again, I think the expectation for Detroit, again, that's why I threw it out there. I think it's got to be 7-2. Again, the Oakland Athletics, they did get their first win. They beat the Guardians 4-3. So, again, they have a better record than the Houston Astros. I'll only take my digs when I can because I know it's not going to last. Again, the Red Sox split against the Mariners. They win 5-1. The Diamondbacks, they win the series against the Rockies. They win 5-1 as well. I think a couple of days ago, the Diamondbacks put up 17 runs on the Rockies. I know that doesn't feel very good for them, but we can talk about this, Alec, because we're in the intermission. We gushed a little bit about Jordan Montgomery in the World Series, did we not? And now he's a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Some people said if you can't beat him, join them in terms of Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors. Or we can put a reversal of this for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm putting this in a joking sort of manner. If you can't beat him, sign him.
Yeah, he was a really great pickup. And honestly, I heard from some of the Texas fans and friends that I have that they said that Montgomery is going to want too much money and they didn't think they could sign him long term. Well, he essentially, Alex, signs a 1-year deal of about $25 million. You think if you're Texas and an open pocketbook essentially that they have, that's a little bit of a drop to me that you couldn't sign him on the 1-year deal and offer him more money than Arizona did.
Feels that may be tied to one man, in my opinion, Scott Boras.
Sure.
That the deal may be the main cause of his clients getting less money than what they were offering.
Yeah, that definitely does happen. And again, I think Scott Boras was also a Blake Snell part of it for the agent who took him a while this time with the Giants. So, yeah, there are teams that don't want to deal with his shenanigans as much because he wants to try to get all of his players top dollar. But I will say this, if you're a member of the Scott Boras agency and you're a player, at least you know when you do get signed, you're going to get paid.
And either way, it's still good for you to getting paid and getting that money. Either way, just as we get the update from Richmond, they're coming under caution because Josh Berry, the rookie for Stewart Haas Racing, he spun out Daniel Suarez at the tail end of stage 1. Kyle Larson, the post hitter, wins stage 1.
So we'll definitely give you updates on that. Let me give you the actual final as well. We went through Duke and North Carolina State, but let me give you the box here for Purdue and Tennessee because I didn't get a chance to look at that yet. But Dalton Neck, again, a 37 for him and a loss for Tennessee. But my goodness, he definitely broke on a big way as Tennessee's season ends at 27-9. Volunteers are a pretty good program, but you got to have more scoring than just one player. Everybody else in single digits, but not to be outdone. Zach Edey, again, 40 points, but he had 22 free throw attempts. He was 14-22 from the line with 16 rebounds and 40 points on the day.
You know what they say when it comes to big men? Drive to the paint.
Yeah.
And Bill Edie's done a great job of driving to the paint, no matter if it is setting up for the layups or drawing the free throws, getting the other players to foul.
So Fletcher Lawyer, he's the sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't know if he might be the younger brother for Foster Lawyer. I remember him as a Clarkston Wolf here locally and then for Michigan State. So he is a member of Purdue. So we'll see if he can continue going on. It's 14 points, 4 of 12, 1 of 5. But again, Zach Edey had the big payday, 40 points. I don't know what Zach Edey's going to do in the NBA, but I do know one thing with size. If they can find a way, I know, Alec, it's going to be tough for a ceiling for Zach Edey. He's not a very mobile big man, but I got to find a way. If you can just find a way to get him a little bit more mobile, get a little more of an outside game when you need it, not just everything in the paint. He could be good, but it's going to be difficult for him to match up against guys like Zion and all of that too, right?
Yeah, you would think Zach Edey. I would imagine him being a starter in the NBA, perhaps him being a late first round pick.
Sure.
Not too bad for Edey, but contributing in a role player role early on before emerging as a true name of the franchise, maybe, by the way that he is going up. But let's keep expectations low for Edey early on, considering this track record. Perhaps let's start out late first round pick. That's where we will be labeling him at.
I think I agree with you on that side, Alec. That's kind of what I was going for too, because you can be a really good player in college, but then it's also really hard to make that jump into the next step, isn't it? I mean, we see that across all sports.
Yeah, all it takes is development for you to properly develop an NBA or NHL prospect. You have to sit him for a couple of seasons or a couple of games before you get him on. That was the case for LaMelo Ball. You have to sit back and watch from the others around, right behind Devontae Graham in his rookie season. But in special cases, when your athlete is so gifted and talented, you may need to start him right away, such as the case for LeBron James and Victor Wembanyama.
So I look at some of the stat lines here, and admittedly, I haven't followed as much NBA as I've used to. But when we get close to the playoffs, I think that's definitely going to change. We'll be covering some of those games. But for Victor Wembanyama, he's really starting, Alec, to put up just some outlandish numbers. Do you think that there's any sort of frustration from him? Yeah, I'm not saying right now, but maybe in the future, the next couple of seasons, if the Spurs don't start winning games more consistently, because I mean, he's been otherworldly good at times.
Yeah, you're coming off that 40-point, 20-rebound game that
Right.
Wembanyama just added over the New York Knicks in that overtime victory. He's an alien out there. I mean, look at him compared to the other players.
Right.
They make him look short. He's an otherworldly type of player. Perhaps going to get himself up as one of the best big men in the league right now. I'd say at this current point, would you put him in the top 10?
Alec, am I being unfair to say that maybe I would put him even ahead of that? Maybe like top 7, top 8?
Top 7, top 8. That could be my ceiling for it. Top 5, I could mark that down for future reference because I'm not ready to put him in my top 5 just yet, but he's knocking on that doorstep.
Yeah, I agree. Just saying, like right now, maybe top 7, top 8. He's firmly in the top 10. I agree with you on that. But even right now, we're speaking this into existence with a rookie, folks, and he's this good.
He is. He can lead a franchise. He's at the perfect franchise to fit right in on a franchise that is known to develop centers like David Robinson and Tim Duncan.
And I know I mentioned this, and I'm glad that you threw that out there about maybe some of the frustrations that he could be having down the line. But as you just mentioned with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, all the other pieces that have made the Spurs great down the years, if you're Victor, if you can just stay patient for a couple seasons, I do believe in the San Antonio Spurs way and the way that they develop players and the way that they draft. If you just maybe deal with a couple seasons that you don't want, that the Spurs can be back to relevancy again as they always built to the draft, correct?
Yep, it's patience that can pay off playing the long-range game. And remember when the Lakers, they were close to trading Kobe Bryant, but that deal fell apart.
Right.
Instead, they played the patience game, and it paid off with 2 titles and 3 finals appearances between Kobe and Pau Gasol.
So I'm going to look at this, Alec, and just humor me for a moment because I haven't looked at the standings here for a while in the NBA. You got the Boston Celtics, who by far and away, they've already clinched in the East 58-16. I saw the Denver Nuggets already got their spot locked in as well at 52-23 because of the division and everything else. Minnesota still tied with OKC, number 1 in the West, 51-22. And the Houston Rockets, I'm looking at this correct. They've won 11 in a row.
Yeah, they have won 11 in a row. Once again, where did they come from? Because they were sitting back 27-35 before the winning run. And even though the Warriors are losing their Spurs at this current moment, the Rockets, they're losing to the Mavericks right now. But 11 straight wins? Wow.
Yeah, I didn't really see that coming. And again, for Memphis, they had a really poor year. They lost Ja Morant through most of it. I guess the good thing for Memphis is they'll probably get a pretty good draft pick out of all of this. And I saw the other day, I feel bad for Chauncey Billups, the former Piston head coach for the Trailblazers. They were only the first team in NBA history to lose 2 games by 60 points or more. Ouch.
And that has to be the rough side of history. You never want to wish this on anyone. A rough go for Chauncey Billups to see on his first year of what he can prove coaching an NBA team. Well, it's more to go down for the line because the Trailblazers arguably have one of the worst rosters in the NBA. You got Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, Malcolm Brogdon, Scoop Henderson being the 4 names that you can think of when you think of the Trailblazers, but that's all.
I'm wondering this too, and I know I'm poking fun at my own team, but that's all I can do nowadays. So the Pistons do beat the Wizards in a battle for the worst record in the NBA. The Pistons hold on to it for half a game. I don't know if the Pistons are going to win another game this year. It looks like they might end around 14, 15 wins at most. They're 13-61. I know they had the worst record and they dropped to 5. I only hope that that doesn't happen again in the NBA draft.
Yeah, that would be rotten luck. Even if you got Osar Thompson as the 5th pick in the draft, but still, you don't want to wish that.
No, you don't. Again, the Golden State Warriors in the West are kind of hanging on. It looks like a half a game lead over the Houston Rockets. So again, I should check in as far as what the score line is. And Dallas has a 77-53 lead over the Houston Rockets. So the win streak might be over. I know you texted me several weeks ago with the Kyrie Irving layup that was during the primetime side when they finished it. I still think Dallas can be dangerous. I'm still not sure about New Orleans in the 5th seed. There's a lot of storylines. I believe in the Thunder. I believe in the Nuggets, maybe even the Clippers. But there are some teams down in the 5, 6, 7, 8 that I'm not sure what they're going to do in the postseason.
Yeah, I believe in Denver. I believe in Minnesota, as the strange you say. Mm-hmm. OKC, I feel they're inexperienced, but their youth could pay out. Clippers, Pelicans, Mavericks, interesting teams. Suns, Kings, not too much faith. Lakers could make noise, and Warriors, I'm not sure.
Yeah, if the Lakers play the way they did in the play-in tournament, then we can surprise us all as they've done. So I'll take part of this third, and then you can close it out. If we get to OT, we might have to fight for it, Alec, as it's 45 seconds here on Michigan's power play. Gavin Brindley gains the entry. This will go near the right side. Dot for Rutger McGroarty. He'll take a flip. This will be in a long side to the left side board. It's Michigan now. Rutger he'll take a save off the left pad of Augustine. He'll get the whistle and hold on.
That was so close. It looked like it was going to bounce. I mean, we saw that bounce on Augustine. Might have bounced it up himself. Either way, Augustine, he's still holding his own. Michigan State, they're more of a defensive type of team. And Michigan, they're knocking right on the doorstep.
Yes, they are. 30 seconds to go on their power play. I believe it's their third, as this is near the right side red line. It'll be Brindley. Slow it down near the left boards. He's looking for a lane. He'll get a pass right back. Michigan going to get settled. There's a slap shot from Edwards. Gigantic rebound. And the second attempt goes wide. Rutger McGroarty trying to hold it in. He's being sandwiched. Hughes able to keep it in. Michigan trying to make a centering pass. It bounces off the Spartans. They'll return to full strength, but it's in their defensive end now, as this will be bounced away from Shouty. Picks it up now, and Michigan State will try to take this right to left. There's a chance off the rush for Lepster. He'll hold, and he'll throw it into an open area. This will work out beautifully, as this is put around the end board. Spartan gets some offensive zone time, and this is slapped around the kick plate. Michigan with the maize and blue are going to try to take this one left to right in this third, drawn on alongside Alec and I, between play-by-play and color. We'll definitely switch off again in the third. It's a 1-1 game. Both of us have had one goal call for Michigan State and Michigan respectively. We'll see if we get any more in the third. Frank Nazar, does he have to put on a series of moves now? He'll make a pass between the legs, and a good save for Augustine with the right pad off the slapper, as this is now with Michigan State. They'll fire it in, and Barczewski will stop it. Delayed offside as Michigan gets a chance to touch the puck. They'll get it now with number 91, and Frank Nazar, the Red Savage, another Red Wings product, forces the steal. Stopped by the left pad of Barczewski. Red's got it now. Keep it alive off his forehand. He collides with his defenseman. This might allow Michigan to get some puck possession off the backhand and blow a tire inadvertently. So now State will spin around in their own end and look to start again. This is Michigan State with the puck now off the backhand, and it's solved by Barczewski.
So close for Duke to get Michigan their first lead this game off the rebound, the long shot by Ethan Edwards. He was waiting for it. I was actually to stop up, I think, but Edwards, he had the initial one on the long shot. It's more of those long shots in which you need to capitalize off the rebounds. Dylan Duke, he was so close.
Yeah, the puck went right between his legs after that big rebound in the middle of the circles, as Savage can't win the draw. And Michigan's going to get some puck possession here. They'll get it in across the left side red line. Bounces off the backboards, picked up by Michigan, as they'll calmly play this out of their own end. We'll take a race for it. Michigan able to get this. Ernest is going to have to pay for it, though, is the point. It's hit across the boards. Spartans now in their own end will recollect off the backhand, and Michigan will intercept. A point now. And across the right side wall, almost takes an elbow. Hughes trying to provide support here for the Wolverines. It's a 1-1 game. The winner goes to the Frozen Four. 16:45 left in this third. So the intrigue is going to be at an all-time high in the sixth meeting of the season. You get 4 regular season games. Michigan State beat Michigan in the Big Ten tournament for the final to win it. Now they meet again in this regional final, as it's Davidson. He's shadowing and behind the net for Barczewski. This bounces off the Spartans, and this will be settled down. And across the right side wall, Ernest now trying to make something happen, as this will bounce off the net behind Augustine, flipped high out of the air. Michigan try to recollect, will shovel it and turn it over, and near the circles, the shot gets blocked. Wide open now. Spartans have a chance to shoot, and they can't recollect the rebound. That one could have been an open net. Michigan survives it, gain the entry to the right wing, and this goes out of play, Alec.
I'll say Michigan State almost had it there. Patrick Carey, off that giveaway pass from Michigan, he had the room on the right side to shoot it at. Left side on Barczewski. Barczewski, he held his own, but that's careless from Michigan. You do not want to have a giveaway at this point in the game.
Yeah, we've seen some turnovers here in the second period from the Spartans, and the third now here for Michigan. It's right point blank in between the dots. You can't have those, but Barczewski and Augustine have been sensational in this game. Here's a great pass, and this is going to be denied for Barczewski with the left pad. As the State was trying to capitalize off the rush, Nazar now gloves this one down. Here's a cross for Rutger, as this is put around the inboards for Gavin Brindley. And now Michigan will watch this one fall back into their own end. And this will go all the way around for T.J. Warren. Warren will take the long flip off the glass. This one stays in play. And this is not going to be blown dead. Spartans will go ahead and start this one right to left there in the green and white. Michigan in the maize and blue. We're in St. Louis in the regional final. And Maryland Heights. Loose puck bounced out in front of the net, but Michigan was there. As they'll go ahead and get this in across the red line. Augustine slows it down, plays with the stick. near the right side red line. Michigan State, desperate to get out of their own end, they'll do so. They might have an odd man, as this is a good defense, as Michigan cancels it out with the stick blade. And now they're trying to push the other way. Cernesi gets hit against the wall here. Now Michigan State will pick it back up. They'll recollect Savage with an outstretched pass. Get an opportunity here for O'Connell. He had the first one of the game that opened the scoring for the Spartans. Michigan want their third Frozen Four appearance since a certain amount of time, but Michigan State looking for their first since 2007. It's been a while, but this is as good as they've ever been. And this game, Alec, is pretty damn good as well.
In 2007, that was the year Michigan State won the whole tournament.
So it's been a while, as we've said, but again, Michigan State's done it before. You have to feel a certain level of confidence if you are Michigan State, even though this game is close, just because you've beaten your rival 4 times. Again, you say in a 7-game series, it's hard to beat someone 4 times. You don't normally meet 6 times in college hockey, but that's where we are right now. We'll see if Michigan State can win 5 times against Michigan this year. But it's a 1-1 game with 14-15 left to go in the third as it's slowed down by Schifsky. It's getting real busy and behind his office right now. Michigan State forces an in-tight steal. Can't have that happen too many more times. Michigan trying to get this out of their own end. They'll backscape for a moment and take a long flip as this is recollected into the neutral zone. Michigan now off the pinball. Another steal. Great move for Tommy Manisto as they'll put this around the end boards. He falls down, and Michigan gets a chance to recollect in their own end, try to make the transition into zones. Here's a drop. Michigan now, sweet play. Here's a chance. This gets blocked near the left side of the pad. Michigan now near the left side blue line. Recollect. Here's a chance. They score!
What a shot! Former defenseman as well. Second goal by a Michigan defenseman. It was 73 Edwards the first time. Now 77 his line mate. Marshall Warren, it's his turn to get onto the board and sustain pressure as Michigan was cycling the puck all around. Sometimes you want to confuse the Michigan State defenders on who's going to shoot in. That was down low. That's one time that you don't see often for defensemen. Down low was Marshall Warren.
Yes.
He can do it. He can fire it. And he just did so. It's 2-1.
You said it, Alec. They got the Michigan State Spartans to scramble a little bit. When Schifsky had the puck on the opposite side of the dot, he made a couple quick passes. He had to recollect the bobbling puck, and Marshall Warren doesn't get picked up near the right side dot. Finishes it past the helpless Augustine, and now Michigan with back-to-back goals. They've taken the lead, and this is a good time to do so. Here comes State. Power move. Stopped by Schifsky. My goodness. They were trying to get the answer that quickly in about 10 seconds. A flip for Nazar. Doesn't get out of the zone. And here are the Spartans. Keep it alive. A slapper goes wide. Schifsky was not near the left side of the crease as this is spun around. Spartans now look like they might already have the answer again as this is put around the end boards. Michigan just trying to survive. And it's weird to say as they just scored a goal. Now Nazar finally gets us out of the zone. Good reverse. Able to stay on his feet. It's a 2-on-1. Brindley's there, but they don't pass it, and Augustine makes the save.
Oh, Michigan State with some more responses, but that 2-on-1 between McGroarty and Brindley. Remember that duel. That's what led to that 2-on-1. Augustine saw as we were going to break shortly, but Michigan State, they looked like they were pressing. They looked like they were going to answer soon enough. They didn't find the back of the net, but they saw something, maybe a glimmer of hope in them. But Michigan, they're up 2-1. It's exactly what you need if you're Michigan.
I think my heartbeat's starting to get a little bit extra here, and I maybe kind of played my hand about who I'm hoping wins this game, Alec. I know Patrick Rush is on the other side of it. I saw a lot of flexing, I'll just be honest, for Michigan State. It's very well deserved and how much they've dumped on Michigan this year. But you want to win the Big Ten, they were not able to do it. And good on the Michigan State Spartans for able to celebrate that for the first time. But if you want to get the final burn right now, this is the time to do it if you're the Wolverines, is it not?
Yes, it's the time to do it if you're the Wolverines. The last 2 years, it was losses in the Frozen Four. First to Denver, and then second last year to Quinnipiac. There's back-to-back, even though you won 7-4 against Quinnipiac in the first time around the regional final, 2-1 the regional final, and overtime last year over Penn State. But I felt that game was more of an eye-opener given that Liam Soulier had 41 saves in that matchup. This time around, there are not really that much expectations in which are sky high like where they were last year with under Adam Fantilli and Luke Hughes. You have the lesser expectations this time around. Michigan State was the favorite to come out the region, knowing that they are the top seed in the St. Louis, Maryland Heights region. But still, if you're Michigan, this is still one of the best programs on all college hockey, and they're playing it and they're showing it.
Yeah, again, they're playing a close game against their bitter rivals. We talked about that many times, and it's really hard to beat a team so many times that they've done. And thankfully, pretty much every time we've covered, again, it's only the second time for us, but every time we see these two teams play each other, they play exciting, close games. I'm going to be handing this off here to Alec in about another minute, as this is Michigan State and their defensive end, and they will get a chance to go ahead and pick up the puck off the forehand. Here's a great pass. Good stop, Schifsky. It's very loose, however, and the Spartans will go ahead and pick it up. Russell had this bounce away from him. Michigan able to escape the pressure. Boy, oh boy, Alec, you are going to have a really good final 10 minutes to this game, as this is the Spartans. They will have it now. Across the left side red line, it's too far. And now Michigan try to press the other way, and they're going to look for a hand pass. I might as well just hand it to you right now since we get the stoppage. It's only fair. Michigan's got a 2-1 lead. I'm certainly hoping that they hold it, but Alec, we could even have overtime. I'm not going to write that out.
Yeah, we might not sugarcoat it anymore. Overtime may still be a real possibility. Don't be fooled by the one-goal margin.
No.
It's a 2-1 game, but it certainly feels like it's a 2-2 type of field game at the end of regulation. We might not be surprised to see the fifth overtime game of this tournament.
Go ahead, Alec. Take it away.
All right, so here we are with less than 12 minutes to go in the third period. Winner draws Boston College in the Frozen Four at Xcel Energy Center, St. Paul, Minnesota, the home of the Minnesota Wild, as one of Michigan State players gets decked towards the near corner at their own zone. That was the defensive end. Now Michigan is back in their own zone. Alec Nava, John Ott here. Third period, the Wolverines lead 2-1 off a pair of second pairing defenseman goals. Ethan Edwards and Marshall Warren, 73 and 77. Feels like that 70 show all over again. Michigan State backflip this puck. They move it down 30 ice. Around is Schifsky, leaving his behind for Luca Fantilli, the brother of Adam Fantilli, or Gavin Brindley. Fantilli's common line mate last year. Greg Nazar getting leveled by Sturbach. Sturbach spun away on his knees, just gets this out to center. Across from Edwards to Warren. As Kidd and Draper's back on the ice. The son of Chris Draper. He's at the far half wall. And oh my goodness, that was a high hit. As one of the Spartans went down. That was Philippe Lapointe getting that one up. Waves whistled down. This may be a penalty against Lapointe. And that was Tiernan Shouty who got stung from that hit.
I don't want to say too far ahead of myself, but if it's head contact, that could get you a 5. Shouty got dumped, and that did not look clean at all. That's definitely going to be a penalty, and this could be even a major if they want to look at it. We'll see what we get.
Well, it wasn't a high hit. It was a shove towards the board.
Okay.
They're going to roll this one 40. There's one shove from Keaton Draper, and that was on Sturbach. The penalty was on Lapointe for boarding Shouty. And that was a dirty hit. Shouty had to go to the locker room to get evaluated for an injury.
Man, I hope he's okay. He got his face flicked in the left side into the boards. That's a dirty hit. That's not a good look there for Michigan for the point on that side. So hopefully Tanner's going to be okay. But that was a heavy, heavy, needless hit.
Yeah, that was not necessary at all. Lapointe, as we look at him, he's one of two second-generation players on the University of Michigan. He's the son of Martin Lapointe. He and Chris Draper. They were on those Red Wings teams that won those Stanley Cups in that dynasty.
We'll see now if Michigan State, the door is open, Alec. Are they going to tie this one on the power play? Good save, Barczewski there into the traffic as the Spartans are going to try to get an offensive zone draw. 10-11 left to go in this third. I already feel like I'm biting my nails right now. I don't know how you feel, Alec, but this is going to be another classic between the two.
It appears that Shouty has just exited the locker room. They gave him the green light to go. He's back on the bench, but given further evaluations by the medical staff. So he's all right for the moment, but he is getting checked on his helmet as Michigan clears another puck. And the Spartans heavily checked. That was Baskel, stick lifted twice, just gets it off over to Howard. Right side, they enter. Another drop pass. Baskel from the right point. Looks over opposite point for Dorward. Down low at the goal line, they look towards. And right back over to Baskel. One time at the right circle. Schifsky, baseball glove, catcher style. On that puck covers.
It's a good chance near the right side dot. Again, Michigan giving up some lanes. Again, Michigan State had given up some lanes. I understand you got a man advantage on a power play for a given side, but when you get these chances for one-timers in the right and left dot, you're really asking your goaltenders to do a lot. And honestly, between Trey Augustine and Jacob Barczewski here, I mean, they've been excellent, Alec.
They have been some of the best goaltenders that we have seen thus far, as is the usual case right now. So we have 106 left in the power play. Of course, those areas of the ice, the Kucherov side, the right circle, Ovechkin / Zibanejad. Score! Joey Larson, second power play marker. And for the Michigan State Spartans, it's a tie hockey game, 9:34.
What did we just say? I'm not going to sit here and say it's a broken play. Yeah, it's a flipping puck and near the right side boards. But still, Alec, you have to pick up a man. You cannot let him shoot a one-timer right in the middle of a circle as Joey Larson. A little how do you do? He could have balanced his checkbook there. No chance for Jake Barczewski to make the save.
And it wasn't even the exact spot of the dot for Larson. That was just at the right side.
Sure.
Still, as I was pointing out earlier, Ovechkin, Zibanejad, Stamkos does their offense in the left circle. It's at that point where Larson fired it off, and now the Spartans, they're 2 for 4 in the man advantage, as opposed to Michigan, who's 0 for 5. Now we have an open hockey game here, 2-2. Don't be surprised if it's overtime. In NASCAR terms, photo finish. We had one at Atlanta, 3 wide. Daniel Suarez over Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch. That's a feel-good moment there for Suarez, who got his second career NASCAR Cup Series win over the reigning Cup Series champ and the 2-time Cup Series champ. As Augustine handles this one out with less than 9 minutes to go. Over to Baskel, not Baskel, it's Levshunov, who sends this forward on a spinorama pass. And it's Jeremy Davidson, overtime hero last game for Michigan State over Western Michigan with Tom Izzo in attendance. 8:40 to go. Michigan State is looking for their first Frozen Four appearance since 2007. Michigan looking for their first straight Frozen Four appearance. They beat Penn State in overtime last year after a 41 save effort by Liam Soulier. The Wolverines back in their own zone. They're back deep. Dorward's there. He pokes it away. Right circle. And that's had away by Barczewski. The Spartans hold it in. Turning around and looking to fire with Lester. There's a final lane there. And a one-timer from the deep point was shut down by Barczewski from Patrick Gary, who be 11, the freshman from down distance, Hamburg, New York.
Well, we talked about it, Alec, and I just want to throw this down again. You had a penalty there. It was a bad hit. Shouty ends up getting licked by LaPointe. It was a needless penalty. And Michigan State scores again on the power play. They're 2 for 4. Michigan 0 for 5. And I understand when you're on the penalty kill, you have a tendency to chase the puck. And yes, it was a flip pass that was almost near the dots. As we mentioned, for a shot that was wide open and finished. But for me, I just saw too many Wolverines that were watching the puck and not picking up an open player that's right in a dangerous area to score. That is a bad penalty, and that's a bad missed assignment against the Wolverines.
Badly missed assignment. You have to cover everyone onto the ice, no matter who it is or where they're at. You have to go man-to-man on your guys, on the power plays. And so you box them out. In basketball terms, box them out, whether it be on a diamond shape or a square shape. Make sure that you force them over to the outside and not get them good looks. We saw this from the Oilers when they played the Golden Knights that one game when the Oilers 16-game win streak got snapped. But they boxed out the Golden Knights whenever Vegas was on the power play.
Sure. Yeah, you got to be able to deny the space that's the most prevalent. You're covering the middle of the ice. That's the first thing that you have to cover. They did not, and Michigan gets burned. Again, it was a great play near the right side of the boards, don't get me wrong, off the flip pass. But you don't want to have three players chase the puck and leave somebody wide open, is from what we were just referring to. So now all of a sudden, State gets another power play. They tie the game again. And I don't think we can hedge our bets one way or the other right now, unless Michigan State gets another power play here with 8:11 left to go in the third. This is anybody's contest. But if you're Michigan, I think you're going to go back to that power play as they'll show it. And that's going to be something that you remember because you got burned. They're showing it right now.
And they showed it. You do not want to fall for those open looks, whether it be at the slot or anywhere in the circles or down low right above the goaltender. There's that backhand shot that Schifsky shut down at the far corner. They're both battling for this puck as we get back in action here. Michigan could get to their first straight Frozen Four appearance. Michigan State, their first since their championship winning year in 2007. It's the Wolverines now with Bernstein moving this one down into the Michigan State zone. Sticking this one away is Draper out in front of Stampa. Can't fire this one. He lost the puck. This now goes over to the half wall far side. Shipping this backwards is Meanhouse, the captain. Right around for, I believe was Orr. That's the freshman, wearing the number 6. Moving it up. Orr, 22. Isaac Howard is there inside. Howard tries a tight shot. And that was seen easily by Schifsky, who busts it down with 7:28 to go in regulation.
Howard had an opportunity. If he could have picked up the puck on the first time touch, had a chance in the left circle to shoot. He couldn't, but he did shoot one from the left side boards to try to force a face-off. Not a bad idea here. As Michigan State, they've done pretty good on the draws. I think they're up by 3 or 4. They haven't showed too much of the board advantages here. But Big Ten championship game, March 23rd, day after my birthday, Michigan State won 5-4 in OT, and we might get another part of that here.
This is a Michigan goal. It's the go-ahead goal by Dylan Duke. 3-2, 7:18 to go.
My fault, Alec. I did not mean to step all over you, and then I did not expect Dylan Duke to take it coast to coast on the backhanded finish. What a tuck.
You went top shelf with that one.
Man.
It was all the way across.
I can't believe that. I mean, that's right in off the draw. I thought it was a great play for Michigan State, honestly, out to force a face-off, right? And then Dylan Duke comes the other way. He said, no problem, boys. I'm going coast to coast. And what a play against the grain, forehand, backhand. My goodness.
That is a slicky move there for Dylan Duke, who now has 3 goals in his last 2 games. How about this lightning prospect, one of the more slept on? Frank Nazar, Gavin Brindley. Oh, my! Frank Nazar, how do you do? What a pass, what a goal. Michigan 4-2.
Oh, my goodness. What a play for Nazar to send that one across for Brindley. And if I wasn't not feeling so great, I would be able to probably get the voice register up a little bit higher. Adam Nutgale is stunned, and I am pumped.
We might have ourselves a thriller here. Gavin Brindley on a beautiful assist by Nazar, the first-round pick, between his legs. And it's nice by Brindley. What a finish. What a pass. Oh, are you not entertained?
I'm sorry because I'm trying to play this one neutral right down the middle and not root for either teams. But how do you not love a pass like that between the legs? That's masterful.
That is an absolute masterclass by Frank Nazar. This prospect, this kid is on fire on this top line with Rutger, McGroarty, and Gavin Brindley. When you have some of the best prospects in the NHL on the same line, that certainly helps for Michigan. And it can boost their case onto the Frozen Four. They are 634 away from their first straight appearance and their 28th overall. Michigan State, they're in the same situation as they were their last round against Western Michigan. They're trying to mount their second straight comeback. Puck loose over the high slot. So down by the Spartans. Over to near boards. Now over at the near corner of Luca Fantilli watching. Several stick lifts by Draper, who's all over that puck. Just got it out over to the point for Levchinov. Levchinov trying to feed one over to right in front, but that was blocked up and kicked out over to the far corner. Now at the opposite corner where Fantilli gets this one out. And the Spartans want to get this one back. The Wolverines fired this one in right around through Augustine. Fanning on this pass was Levchinov, and McGroarty picks it up. The two in maize and blue. McGroarty over to the right boards for Steven Holtz. This went off with Brindley skates. Now around for the boards behind the net. Michigan State recollects. 5:37 to go. Moved up for the ice. Recollected by Tyler Duke, the younger brother of Dylan Duke, who just scored the go-ahead goal before the beautiful goal by Gavin Brindley, set up by Frank Nazar on the behind. And between the legs pass, one of the best assists that you'll ever see. I see here, but officially is 2 goals in 12 seconds for the Wolverines.
Alec, let's play coach here for a minute. If you're players or you're Adam Nightingale, what's your message after being shell-shocked in 12 seconds? You still got 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this game. You got to take the wizardry out of your mind. You got to go right back to work, don't you?
I feel you got to. There's the belief that you have to go the Patrick Waugh route and pull the goaltender earlier than usual, John. That's what I would believe.
I think you might be right. We'll see what happens, my friend. Take it away.
All right, we have another ice here, 5:13. And meanwhile, at Richmond, Kyle Larson has surrendered his lead as he went to the pits. Martin Truex Jr. is the new leader, the 2017 champion.
Congratulations on that side. Again, we're going to be getting that finished off. Again, I'm in disbelief of what we've seen over the last 12 seconds here. 5:13 left to go. This was a rock'em sock'em robots type of game, and all of a sudden, wizardry 12 seconds apart. Michigan up by a pair.
And that's the second straight game in this tournament in which Michigan scored 3 in the third period after they did the same thing to North Dakota in the first round. And prayers up to Jackson Blake. He got injured at the last seconds of the first round of that tournament for North Dakota when he was trying to do something and awkwardly collided among himself. And after trying to go after someone, played a puck right in front. 4:34 to go here. Blake will be one of the top prospects on the Carolina Hurricanes as Michigan State walks us back in. Augustine not on the bench just yet, but we'll keep an eye on him at 4:25. It's at the far side. Michigan holds it up and stop across ice. Over to Hennessy. Hennessy sends this one inside. Kanan Draper in pursuit. Trailing Daniel Russell as Michigan State sets this one up. Right across. Spartan here. 4:10 to go. Moved up by Shouty, who's back in this game. He's all right after taking a scare. And Garrett can't get this one inside. It's loose. Schifsky, he's down. Trying to cover his left. Snowing doing all over this puck with 3:58 to force a faceoff to his right.
Jake Barczewski with the wall. That's badly needed right now, and it's going to be needed for the last 4 minutes, Alec, if Michigan's going to want to hold on to this thing. Again, I know we saw the display of skill 12 seconds apart, but now it's going to be the Jake Barczewski show to end this one. I'm getting another look at that Nazar pass. That is something dreams are made of.
Truly. That is an outstanding pass. You imagine Patrick Kane style of pass would it be the Blackhawks or anywhere he's been at, but one of the best passers in the game. That's also a Connor McDavid style of pass if we think about among superstars in the NHL.
We talked about that top line, and again, I throw out as much respect as I possibly could for the all-around game of the Michigan State Spartans. But that top line struck, and they struck well. Again, Frank Nazar's done very well this year. You've had Rutger, McGroarty, Brindley, the combinations that you would expect to be able to do the heavy lifting for Brandon Naurato's squad. And Alec, they've done so in a situation where, yes, Michigan State has beaten Michigan 4 times this year. But when it really, really comes down to brass tacks in terms of a Final Four, and this is not being disparaging against State because it's the best team that they've ever had, but Michigan's been here before. They know how to get the job done, and I'm not saying that Michigan State held their sticks too tight because I think they played a masterful game, but it really comes down to margins, doesn't it? And that 12 seconds, that was enough.
2 goals, 12 seconds. That may have been good enough. Now the other task is Michigan can close this out in the final 3:58. A spot against Boston College on the line. Once again, we don't expect much from the team that is facing Boston College, given that BC has the best team in the entire NCAA. But Michigan, if you're a team with no expectations, we don't know what to truly expect of them. Because there are no upsets anymore once they go on a deep run, those lower seeded teams.
No, there's not, Alec. And I think for both of us, we would honestly say if Michigan or Michigan State made it to the Frozen Four, that probably would have been their ceiling. And as we mentioned, we didn't even think either one of these teams were going to get as far as they have even right now. And it looks like Augustine's left the bench.
Yep, you're going 6-on-5 here for the final 3:58, trying to get 2. Here comes the Spartans. Attempt number 1 doesn't go. Their loose puck is still in front. Michigan gets this one out to center. How will the second attempt go here for Michigan State, trying to get this within 1? 3:33 remaining in this game for the Spartans trying to salvage this. Passes deep. Warren read it. Ends at the far side. Several pokes. Chasing after was Hughes. And Michigan fires this down the ice. Not close to the empty net. The Spartans will try again at the offensive zone.
This is what you got to do right now. Again, thankfully, this is a different situation than it was for, what was it, the Minnesota Wild and the Golden Knights? What the heck's going on with those empty net pools and conceding points? I don't get that.
Well, sometimes it's one of those moves in which it makes you look like an absolute genius or an absolute idiot. It worked the first time around for John Hines in the Wild, pulling in the goaltender to get to seal the win in overtime. It worked the first time around. It was nice of them to do that, but second time around, it feels like you got to stop at that point after giving up an empty net goal in overtime. And Vegas made sure of that. 3:10 to go. We have a stoppage here. I think it was a high stick.
Looks like this might have been played with one. That's what Michigan is offering here. Again, they are 3-10 away for a day with Boston College, and I will agree with Alec. Again, there's no given as far as what Michigan's going to be able to do. We know that they've had some opportunities where they've won the championship. They've been to the Frozen Four several times, but BC, I mean, this could be the stiffest Frozen Four test they've ever had should they hold on to this result.
It would be, and it appears Jimmy Trumpet and Edwin Diaz could be in the building, considering the song that was being played by the organist in the background. We all know what that is. Narco by Jimmy Trumpet and Blaster Jacks. 3 minutes to go here. Michigan State holds it. Top of the high squad. Good block there in front by Ernestine. It goes down a play of 2:55 to go.
Here's the thing. I know it was close. I just want to throw it out there, Alec. I know it goes without saying. If you're Michigan, get your clears and do so convincingly. You can't have one of those ones where you flub the puck and turn it over and give Michigan State a chance to get pressure. And if you're State, here's what I would do. I'd get traffic in front of the net of Jacob Barczewski and try to hammer shots to the point and ram away at it if you can't get anything in the slot. Those are my 2 takes.
Yeah, also, Michigan State has their timeout. They can use
Sure.
it here at any point if they want to get back. Michigan trying to seal the deal. Gavin Brindley. No, he just missed and hit the side of the net. Michigan State still alive for the moment. Dorwer passes it behind. Trying to set things up. Move out in front on this pass. No, he did not find his target. It was too far for Daniel Russell. This will go back to the Michigan State side. Obviously, he'll have to come back.
Yes, he will. That's the last thing you want for Adam Nightingale there, is Michigan's going to be able to kill some more time. For them, you try to win the draw, kill as much of this as you can. I will say, Alec, I won't feel comfortable until the buzzer has sounded, but it's going to be difficult for Michigan State if they don't get another goal here, I would say within a span of a minute, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that would be the time limit that I would give Michigan State. There was a broken stick. Someone might have gone slash with 2:28. Penalty is called.
Oh, boy. A penalty against Michigan State at this point in time off the slash? That is not good.
That's a killer there for Nicholas Mueller, the Swiss, and he his stick over divorce and frustration, knowing what he has done, and that might have cost his team there.
Oh man, that is not good. Again, I feel for the Spartans there. We see it near the right side wall, and this is right in on the hands, right off the stick of the Michigan player and right off the referee. It looks like Ernest when he was coming together, but it wasn't him. They got a piece of one of the other Michigan players, but it's right in front of the Zebras, and that's going to be called 100 times out of 100.
Now Michigan State, they have to go 5-on-5 the hard way to get Augustine out. So for the moment, they have 4 skaters on the ice. They have to make it 5-on-5 the hard way. They want to get back at Michigan. So now, Michigan on the power play, they can run it out here and get an insurance marker. Shot in the left circle. There is the insurance marker. And now they seal their trip to the Twin Cities. 5-2 to score.
Man, traffic on in front. Dylan Duke was there. No chance for Augustine. Brindley fires. And Michigan now, they have their date against BC. You can think about what might happen later, but Dylan Duke is pumped. Michigan fans are pumped. They finally got the revenge that they've been waiting for, Alec. It's been a while.
Yeah, revenge best served in third periods. That's what we could say. Because of the 2 goals in 12 seconds, that was the catalyst. Plus, with Dylan Duke, an insurance marker on the power play makes Nick Mueller pay for that slash on Ethan Edwards.
So, Alec, here really quickly, is that 6 goals in the last 2 games for Michigan in the third period? I thought they scored 3 against North Dakota as well the last time out.
Oh, scratch 6 goals. Make that 7 goals in the last 2 third periods for the Wolverines.
Holy cow. Wow, it's been a run for them.
Yeah, all of a sudden they turn it on the right time for Brandon Naurato squad. We're 2 minutes away here from Michigan facing BC in the Frozen Four. 1:55 now, as this is moved around. Michigan State, at this point, you can say that they're playing for pride at this point.
Yes.
But no shame given to them. They've had a highly successful season. We didn't expect it from them in the run that they've had. Big Ten champions, 4 seed overall in the Frozen Four tournament. Stoppage play of 140. But for Adam Nightingale's squad, we don't know if this is a sign of things to come or a flash in the pan. But either way, they'll take this season as a positive.
Yes, they will, Alec, and I'll say this respectively for all of the Spartan Nation, even as a Michigan fan. I hope it's not a flash in the pan because you want things like this. You want Michigan to get pushed. I'm not going to say embarrassed by their rival, but they got looked pretty good throughout the regular season and in the Big Ten championship. And this is the type of team and type of games that make both teams better.
Yeah, this is one of those battles that which you're going to remember for a lifetime. Michigan writing another story in their illustrious hockey program. Michigan State, you can use this as a building block for the future down for the road. They're scoring by committee, but if I'm Michigan State, you need to look after some of the top prospects coming out of high school or junior hockey and get them into your program. Now for the future, if you want to land a big name prospect, that's what I would consider if I'm Adam Nightingale down for the road. 55 seconds until this is all wraps. And for all the Michigan fans that are out there, they're maybe the only ones standing up by this point, and maybe the Michigan State fans waiting until the final buzzer to applaud their team one last time for a highly successful season. 38 seconds. It is the Wolverines. Ernest, 6 in maize and blue. He dumps it around for the near side. Right behind the net this goes. 30 seconds until we go to St. Paul on the 11th of April. And given tomorrow, of course, all the hockey teams in college, they're all planning for the big days and the big weekend happening in that second week of April. Plus, you know what's coming over the later weeks in April, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Don't forget that as well. You can imagine that the young prospects are also looking towards that. For the 3rd straight year, the Michigan Wolverines to the Frozen Four.
It's music to my ears, Alec, I'll admit to you, but Michigan State, it's been a wonderful season for them. Michigan, they had to taste defeat several times. Again, you watch Michigan State put up the forehand as they rose the Big Ten trophy, but it's Michigan going to the Frozen Four. Yes, they're going to play BC, but right now you better enjoy it because this was a big-time game. Again, Michigan State's had their number. And in that third period, for whatever reason, over these last couple, Michigan exploded, and the 2 goals in 12 seconds essentially put this one away. Again, last national championship was 1998. I was 11 years old, but it's their 28th Frozen Four. I'm not certain, Alec, that they're going to get much farther than that. However, celebrate it for Brandon Naurato, for Adam Nightingale. They've done a great job for both of these programs, and I cannot wait till all that starts. And I'll make sure that I keep the calendar open because I'm going to want to work these games with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that BU Denver game as well, considering that's the matchup that most people are watching, but also BC and Michigan. Not many are expecting Michigan to win that one, considering BC. We know this may sound like a broken record, but they have that American quartet of the U.S. World Junior team. Michigan showing their resiliency. North Dakota, that one of the best prospects in all of the NHL, Jackson Blake, struck down in the third period. Michigan State, the story that everyone has been happy about, knowing their come-up story, has been very intriguing. Struck down. Now Boston College. What will we see next?
Yeah, I don't know, Alec, to be honest with you. Again, we can talk about Boston College and what we think, and we've kind of shared our thoughts about what could happen. But I will say this. It's fair to me to tell you, especially from North Dakota, who I thought was a really good hockey team, and Michigan State as well, that this is the best that I've seen Michigan look all year. And granted, it's happened in a span of the latest 20 minutes, which is the most important. But those types of runs, those types of flashes of skill are what you're going to need in order to advance.
And you have that everything around the skill, the talent you display around the team. Sometimes defensive depth can be beneficial to you, but sometimes it's about talent and your high-end players carrying the load for your team, such as McGroarty, Brindley, Duke, Nazar. Those are the primary guys that you're thinking when you think Michigan. Seamus Casey we can also point to. But as Nazar is getting interviewed by the ESPN crew that's over there, yeah, perhaps the highlight of the night was that beautiful behind the legs assist. Yeah, that dish is 24th of the season, up to 41 points. But how sweet it is for Michigan.
I will say, Alec, even though it's college hockey that we covered today, that assist, that pass, the finish across, that's as good as anything you'll ever see, no matter the levels of hockey. It was that good. In the flash of the pan, Michigan able to take the lead. Again, Michigan State played a very good hockey game. They had a couple power plays. They took advantage of it, but it was kind of an eruption in the third period. And I think it really caught both of us by surprise, did it not, the way that it ended up happening that way. But I do want to ask you one more question. I know we're in the post game. You covered a little bit more of this than I have across as far as the Frozen Four and throughout college hockey. You've seen Macklin celebrating and some of these other goaltenders and all that across as well. But let me ask you honestly, is Jacob Schifsky good enough to be able to get the job done? Because I think he played a whale of a game today. And if he can play like this, I think it will keep Michigan alive and keep them in the game.
His stats may not show it throughout the season, but he's a solid netminder. When you have games like this, he is good enough to man the crease. Now will come his toughest task yet, going up against the American quartet and Boston College. Perot, Gauthier, Smith, Leonard can strike fear in anyone's side.
Yes.
Don't forget Eamon Powell and Drew Fortescue on the defensive end.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun when we get to that point. Alec, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a lot of fun. I know I've been a little bit on the mend, so hopefully I didn't interfere with your call too much. I was just really excited. And again, you get a chance to see Michigan take the picture and punch the ticket. I did not expect to see Michigan and Michigan State in the path to the Frozen Four, but it is the maize and blue moving on with a 5-2 victory. You have a great night, my friend, and hopefully we talk sooner rather than later.
Have a good night. Indeed. We'll see you soon.
See. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't expect the result that we saw today and the amount that we saw it, but BC, Boston College Eagles, in Michigan, Frozen Four. That starts April 11th, and then you got Boston University in Denver on the other side. It's going to be a stern task for the Wolverines, no doubt about it. But they're going to enjoy this one. If you're a Wolverines fan, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. If you're a Spartans fan, nothing to hang your head about right now. But it is the Wolverines. They advance to their 28th Frozen Four. We will see you in a couple weeks when we get back into the college hockey season in the Frozen Four. Have a good night, everybody. See you.